Excellent! Brilliant! Yes! Got it. Hello again, Mr. Thistlewood. That's right. That's a good idea. We need to see this through. Must we? Seems a lot of trouble to go to for a creature we've already rescued. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something. A phoenix nest. I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix Natty mentioned, the one the poacher pack are after. Let's go! Away! Go! I'm ready. What's going on here? Brilliant! Brilliant! Excellent! Yes! Yes! Got it! Got it! Assignment's all finished. A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about. That was quite something. It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class. I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade. I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you. Sorry, never mind. There we go. That's it. Not to worry, Poppy. If I ever meet your gran, I shall not speak a word of this. Mr. Abe, I found your wand. Thank you for saying so, Professor. I'm ready for what's next. He would have killed me once he found the repository, if not before. I had no choice. He destroyed so many lives and wouldn't have stopped. I'm glad I was able to put an end to him. Professor Weasley! We're getting closer, Professor! That way! Come on! Perhaps the colours of those shielded orbs indicate which spells I should use to destroy them. Hazel must be here somewhere. This castle will never cease to surprise me. That seems to have done the trick. Hidden herbology corridor. Sounds intriguing. Hello, madam. Is everything all right? Did that really just happen? Whoa! Pardon me, Miss Coffee. Do you have a moment? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. What do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. I should be going now. Thank you. What services do you offer? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. And what do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. Very well. I shall let you know if I find anything. I should be going now. Thank you. What do you have for sale? Mr. Thistlewood, what was it you needed my help with? Crates of cabbages? What do you have for sale? I should be going now. Thank you. Glad I could be of help, and I look forward to visiting your shop the next time I'm in Arranshire. That's where I need to go, but I need to find a way past them. That's the way forward. They can't see me at all. I can get closer to them. It seems that a lot of beasts have been more aggressive than usual lately. Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time? I enjoyed that. Penny, I have what I hope will be good news. Officer Singer confirmed that ownership of the shop has now transferred to me. And, according to the house elf that came with the shop, she's done this sort of thing before. Repeatedly. But how can you be forbidden from telling me what's going on? I purchased the shop. Penny, please stop holding your breath. Tell me what's going on. The key will help me get back in here. I still have the key. I'd better not let Madame Scribner see me trying to get in here. I suppose that's off limits. Whoever built you didn't account for weather. How old must those ruins be? Ruins? What mysteries lie beyond your walls, I wonder? I know where this goes. The house chest. That house chest will be open in no time. Excellent. Shan't mention this to the prefects. I see you, little flying key. Is that one of those keys? A flying key! I found another page for my field guide. A page to my field guide. My collection of field guide pages is coming along. It's not a complete guide without you. I know just where to put you. In my field guide. Into my field guide with you. You're not lost anymore, little page. One more page for my field guide. Very good. You'll be back in my field guide in no time. Here's a page that's come out of my field guide. That's no ordinary sheet of paper. Another page for my field guide. Brilliant. I'll put you back where you belong. in my field guide. And one for you, Professor Weasley. I know what this is. A page for my field guide. 1 page at a time. The field guide's getting a bit more complete. Another page. My field guide's going to be glad to see this. Here's a lost page. It would have been nice to have some plants on hand, but I have nothing. Not a single plant to my name. I've run out of plants. Curses. Who could wish to see anything more incredible? Simply marvelous. What a wonderful place. Time to see what new secrets await. The most magical place in all of Hogwarts. Who says wishes don't come true? What do I require this time, oh wondrous space? My very own room of requirement. Hopefully they've had a good meal. Here's hoping the residents aren't too ferocious. I know a den of beasts when I smell one. This might be something to keep. Whatever this is, it may prove useful. What's this? Here's an odd find. What could this be? Seems I can't fly here. Wonder whose decision that was. This is no place for flying. No flying allowed here. I'll need to dismount if I keep going that way. Time to change course. Not the best idea to fly around here. No use trying to fly here. Wait till the birds hear about the flying ban. No flying here, I see. And to think Muggles only use these for sweeping. That's all the flying for now. Down to earth again. Nothing like a broom to feel free. This'll be a welcome change. Now to see things from above for a bit. You can have a rest now. Mind yourself while I'm gone. I'll see you again soon enough, I'm sure. That's all for now. Don't go too far. Hopefully not much longer. I need to wait. Too soon for that, it seems. Seems I'll need to wait. Not quite ready yet. Not so tricky after all, Merlin. That's that. Settled. These Merlin trials won't get the best of me. Merlin himself would be proud. Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade? Hogsmeade, here I come. Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. Shame nobody saw that. I did it. And an Ashwinder, no less. Wait till Sebastian hears about this. An Ashwinder. And no one to share in my victory. Nobody'll believe I defeated an Ashwinder by myself. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. I should investigate. This looks intriguing. I don't have anything for this at the moment. This will be more useful when I have something to identify. Nothing to identify. For now, at least. Professor Sharp will never let me live this down. Empty. Never good to be caught with no Wiggenweld potion. Out of Wiggenweld potions. Seems I'm ill-prepared. It's like a place right out of a storybook. Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this. Wonder who lives here. Seems a pleasant enough little place. What do you have in store for me this time? I know what that means. Merlin trial. Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin. Here's a pleasant surprise. I know a Merlin trial when I see one. Could it be a Merlin trial? These rocks have seen better days. A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time. This place has seen better days. Abandoned long ago, no doubt. Who lived here, I wonder? Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before. Mysterious and a bit unsettling. What to do? Wonder if I'm safe to explore in there. There's no telling what lies in wait for me in there. This castle's hiding all sorts of secrets. Now here's a sad-looking place. Stone walls do a prison make. Sometimes. What went on here, I wonder? Glad I was never locked up here. Not the best place for an unaccompanied student. Trouble's brewing, and I'm without my friends. I don't like the looks of that encampment. Goodness, not a party to attend by myself. This looks like trouble. Perhaps not the best place to be caught alone. Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark. An astronomy table. It should prove useful once the sun's down. Knowing our meat, he's likely studied here. Here's one of those tables Professor Shah mentioned. What do we have here? A demiguise. Mine now, demiguise. This mine could be hiding a secret. Ranrock and his loyalists. Could be some of Ranrock's loyalists in there. Best be careful. Wonder if Ranrock and his crew are in there. There could be goblin loyalists in here. This place stinks of Ranrock and his cronies. Never thought I'd feel so comforted to see this place. Back to Hogwarts. Wonder if they've missed me. Who'd think an enormous castle could feel like home? I'll be back here soon enough. Where to next? And the whole world awaits. I hope I look this good when I'm 900 years old. Now here's a welcoming sight. That was a close one. Should think they felt that in London. One less foul hulking brute. Rest easy, my large friend. There's a victory that came none too soon. Cursed fiends. Not my fault you're a deadly great spider. Shame you're so foul. 8 legs is simply too many. You've one less follower, Ranrock. Too late for you to learn the error of your ways. Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Ranrock has fooled you all. To your demise. You only have Ranrock to blame. One less poacher in the wizarding world. It's shameful what you've done to helpless beasts. Your poaching days are over. The beasts around here can sleep a bit easier now. The beasts are safer now. There. I'm not going to hurt you. Everything's all right now. Settle yourself. I mean you no harm. I'll look after you. Professor Howin will never believe this. That wasn't too hard. That solves that. Shame I didn't have an audience for that one. If only Professor Fig could have seen that. That wasn't so difficult. Do cooperate, won't you? Now, I'm only trying to help. Oh, no, you don't. No need to be difficult. I mean you no harm. There's a friendly face. We make a grand pair, Highwing. Highwing! Ah, there you are. How about some sightseeing? Time for a jaunt, I'd say. No need to race now, my friend. Slow down now. There we go. Here we go. What say we pick up the pace a bit? Faster! Glad I have you here. You certainly are a magnificent beast. Time to go a little quicker. Faster! You're a loyal girl, Highwing. Good girl, Highwing. Let's go. Come on, Highwing. Away, Highwing. Away! Faster, Highwing. Highwing! Go! Are those dragons? Hard to say from up here. Let's get a better lay of the land. Perhaps I need to be on the same side of the arch as the statue to see him. Why can I see the weapon, but not the statue that's wielding it? Is that how he found this place? Perhaps I should pull the lantern into this room to cause the room to rotate again. Only 2 lanterns, but 3 spots. Perhaps I should move them around to open the door and build the platform. Actually, that's all I wanted to know. Why are you so fascinated with stars? Where precisely is the table we're looking for? Amit, could I ask you something? Is it ambition? I may seem single-minded, but it is important to go after what you want from life. A sense of loyalty? I believe myself to be a true friend. I know I value that trait in others. A desire to learn? I do enjoy a good puzzle, and I believe I have a ready mind. A sense of adventure? I like to think that I'm not afraid of anything. I'm looking forward to exploring Hogwarts and the world beyond the castle and grounds. I'm looking forward to meeting my professors and learning all I can at Hogwarts. It seems to have worked. I should dismount here. Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box? Professor! I can take Hazel back to a vivarium now. I should let Madame Bugbrook know she's safe. Come on, Hazel. That unicorn has an exceptionally bright coat. It must be Hazel. I need to look for a unicorn with a beautifully bright coat. It sounds as if she's in trouble. I'm not sure I follow, Professor. Why was that? It sounds as if she's a lovely person, and accomplished. Apologies, Professor. I suppose I do wonder about its relevance to us. Thank you for telling me about your sister, Professor. Oh, not at all, Professor. I find it intriguing and wanted to know more about your work. Your poor sister. What an unfortunate situation for your family. Apologies, Professor, perhaps later. May I ask what attracted you to astronomy? Professor, may I ask what interested you about astronomy? Professor, do you have a moment? Seems quite a challenge, finding an Occamy in the mountains. That sounds incredible. What type of beast is an Occamy? What did you do with them? I shall remember that, Professor. Thank you. Apologies, Professor, perhaps later. Truthfully, I'm not. But I am interested to know why you chose this path for yourself. I haven't decided quite yet, but I do find magical beasts fascinating. Of course, Professor. When did your path become clear? I was wondering, what inspired your interest in magical beasts? Professor, what inspired your interest in magical beasts? Professor, might I have a moment? I confess that I'm surprised to hear Professor Weasley would ever do that sort of thing. I see. You knew Professor Weasley when you were in Uganda. Natty has spoken of your move. She was quite kind to me my first day here. In charms, Professor Weasley seems quite knowledgeable, so I'm not surprised to hear that she'd do that sort of thing. Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time. Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts? Professor, could you tell me how you and Natty ended up at Hogwarts? Professor, may I have a moment of your time? I'm not sure I believe that one can really see the future. I find it truly intriguing, even if I don't fully understand it. I'm sorry, it seems now isn't the best time after all. Of course, Professor. I was wondering how you decided to teach divination. Professor, how did you come to teach divination? I see. Natty told me that she moved here from Uganda, where she had attended Wagadu. Professor, do you have a moment? Do you mind sharing more about your brooms? What do we have here? I suppose I can understand wanting to move on from all that you went through with the Tengu. Wasn't it difficult to leave your home? Then you enjoy being a flying instructor, even after all that happened. Professor Weasley was a curse breaker for the Ministry. Apologies, Professor, I have nothing to ask. I wondered if I could ask you how you came to Hogwarts. Professor, I wondered if I could ask how you came to Hogwarts. Professor, do you have a moment? Have you made peace with the time you've lost? You do seem to have come to terms with things rather well. Yes, Professor. If I may, Professor, I'm also happy that you're here at Hogwarts now. I'm sorry. It's nothing, Professor. Professor, what can you tell me about your work at the Ministry? Professor, what can you tell me about your work at the Ministry? Yes, Professor. Professor, could you spare a moment? I hadn't realized that you and Professor Black were, students here together. An unspeakable. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds horrible. I was curious as to how Hogwarts has changed over the years. Time itself. I never would have imagined such a thing. You have. Thank you for speaking with me, Professor. Actually, perhaps another time. I wondered, did you attend Hogwarts? Professor, I wondered, did you attend Hogwarts? Professor, do you have a moment? Sebastian, there's something you should know. It's to do with Victor Rookwood. I'm glad to hear it. She deserves peace. Were you able to tell Sebastian about Rookwood cursing Anne? Sebastian brought all of this on himself. We tried and tried to stop him. I never thought things would end this way. I hope we did the right thing. Well, it wasn't easy. But I believe in you, Sebastian. I've had a sense about you since that first day in Defense Against the Dark Arts. Sebastian, I'm afraid Anne may never be able to forgive you. But at least now you have a chance to change your path. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad to know that you can at least try to move on now. Anne may just need some time. Surely one day she'll be able to forgive you. That's why Rookwood was there the night Anne was cursed. He was working with Ranrock. When he saw Anne, well, he didn't want anyone to know that. You see, since Feldcroft was of interest to Ranrock, it became of interest to Rookwood as well. Serona has been a good friend to me as well. In fact, I retrieved a box of letters from Mrs. Sprottle for her. How fortunate. Was it Serona Ryan? I'm sorry the other students weren't more friendly. It does take a while to adjust to being here. I suppose that makes sense. The same words Anne heard before she was cursed. Children should be seen and not heard. That's why Rookwood was there the night Anne was cursed. He was working with Ranrock. When he saw your sister, well, he didn't want anyone to know. Once Rookwood allied with Ranrock, Isadora's estate became of interest to them both.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kagawa.
Ominous, I received your owl. What's happened with Sebastian? Sebastian, I received your owl. What's happened? It wasn't one of Ranrock's loyalists who cursed Anne. It was Victor Rookwood. It was Rookwood all along. The rumor's true, and I did. But it's not that. Just before Rookwood attacked, he uttered something familiar. Ominous, there's something I need to tell you. It's to do with Victor Rookwood. It wasn't one of Ranrock's loyalists who cursed Anne. It was Rookwood. It was Rookwood all along. The same words Anne heard before she was cursed. Children should be seen and not heard. The rumors are true, and I did. But it's not that. Just before Rookwood attacked, he uttered something familiar. Sebastian, I can't imagine what you and Anne are going through. Perhaps you'll hear from her soon. I will say that it tended to drift a bit to the left on certain turns. Heard a slight swoosh when I dipped. But with the speeds it now reaches, I can feel the wind catching beneath the seat a bit, preventing it from reaching its full potential. I'm not worried, Mr. Weeks. I'll see if I can find Imelda. This'll take some getting used to. Missed one. Could have done better. Made it! Did it! Success! This is rather fun. Blast! That wasn't planned. Missed it. Close, but not close enough. Brilliant! I'd say that was acceptable. Made it. I'm getting the hang of this. Blast! No success there. I can do better. This is going well. That wasn't too difficult. Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself. Made it. Good for Mr. Weeks. That was quite something. Wasn't hoping for that. Not to worry. Perhaps I could test out my new upgrade on the way. The course looks rather deserted. I hope everything's all right. Mr. Weeks and I do make a good team. I'm getting a knack for these time trials. That went rather well. Imelda certainly is strong competition. I wonder how Mr. Haggerty will take this news. His sister wasn't the thief and his heirloom's coming home. I have the Niffler. Now to look for the Haggerty family heirloom. This book contains potion recipes. Can't help but admire Mr. Weeks' enthusiasm. Oh, and Penny? We'll be closing the shop by 9 o'clock every night. Thank you. I shall work on collecting items for the shop's inventory. I choose stitches and drafts. I choose vestas and venom. I choose Cladwell and Brewster. Oh, of course. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock. Did you say Bragbor? I think I know that name. I might need something that can push a bit harder to open this up. Perhaps a spell would help open this door. What will you do after the final upgrade is complete? I shall look forward to speaking again. This mine must have been abandoned by goblins ages ago. I take it you want to play for a team, but which one? And which position? Do you get your competitiveness from your family? Will you keep running these courses? It's been fun competing against your records, Imelda. Imelda Rays. Are you giving the competition advice? I think I should have a rest. Try again later. I'm ready. Thank you, Imelda. Here we are. Mr. Weeks wasn't wrong about the mountain views. Well, that's the end of that. I hope that's the last spider. That's the last of the spider sacks. A ladder. I'm not sure I want to know where this leads. This must be Arranshire. I'd best keep an eye out for spiders. That's actually thank you? I suppose I know what happened to Mary Portman now. She was breeding the spiders. You said your reputation for talent put some people out. Like whom? We'll see, won't we? Till next time. I should try and rescue Garnoff's mooncalf. Sounds as if I'd need to head north to find those poachers. Strong competition? Could that have been a compliment, Imelda? Hello, Imelda. So, another trial? Samantha will be glad to hear that the crest has been returned. I certainly hope it reverses the curse. I need to find the tomb near Brockborough and place Samantha's family crest on a sarcophagus there. What was it you needed my help with, Samantha? Best of luck with your potions, Mr. Pippin. Perhaps I'll find more hawk lumps while I'm there. I gave the hawk lumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Sorona's box of letters. What precisely are booba-tubers? Saccharissa, what did you ask me to do again? That's incredibly nice of you. How on earth did you discover that booba-tuber pus clears one's skin? What is it, Professor? Thank you, Professor. For everything. What do you think, Professor? Of course, we've tried to justify his actions every step of the way, but this has gone too far. It has to stop. Thank you, Ominous. You're a good friend. But we also need to think about Anne. She's lost her health, now she's lost her uncle. Do you really want to take her brother away from her too? He clearly regrets everything. He's not going to do anything like this again. Don't worry, Sebastian. I shall speak with Ominous. I don't know what to do, Sebastian. I know. Thank you, Sebastian. But perhaps now is not the time. No time like the present. You did. I would have done the same. If I knew how. It was brave, Sebastian. You clearly care more about Anne than your uncle ever did. Mr. Sallow, stop! In Fury? What are you talking about? I'm right behind you, Professor. We need help. The sooner the better. Sebastian is never going to give up trying to cure Anne. If you try and stop him now, he'll never forgive you. Sebastian is never going to give up trying to cure Anne. If you try and stop him now, he'll never forgive you. I'm suggesting we negotiate. I know how to cast it. Sebastian taught me. But I won't do it unless you agree. I'm willing to learn to cast it, Ominous. It may be the only way. But I won't do it unless you agree. Now that you say it out loud, it sounds absurd. But I have another idea. What if the choice wasn't yours? You wouldn't be to blame for what happens. Where should I look for more demiguise statues and moons? I'll keep an eye out for more demiguise statues and see if I can bring you more moons. I'm sorry to say that I haven't found any more of those statues. I actually have some moons for you. Where should I look for more demiguise statues and moons? I'll keep an eye out for more demiguise statues and see if I can bring you more moons. I'm sorry to say I haven't found any more. Hello, Mr. Moon. A ladder. That's what I need. I may have more luck higher up in the keep. Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him. I wouldn't keep your Rococo. He needs to be home with you. Perhaps I should use Levioso to lift the box and then climb on top of it. How can I raise the box? This box should help me reach the ledge. I need to find a way into the gatehouse to open the gate for Natty. Time? For what? Of course. He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form. and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black. I'm certain I don't know what... How did you... Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. I didn't, I promise. What a horrible story. And you think this relic might be able to save Anne? The statues are a form of bullying. You're no better than him. Perhaps it's time you both moved on. Sounds as if Mr. Moon deserved what he got. But perhaps it's time you both moved on. I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl. On your stationery. So you did create them. What more can you tell me about the next course? Why would anyone doubt your ability to upgrade brooms? We have some spectators. These trials must be popular. Why do you need me to report to you on this broom flight? Go on. Oh, I had no idea it was hers. You should keep it. She doesn't deserve to have it. I wonder if I need to place lanterns to open these doors. You mentioned that more and more customers are trying to stay out of sight. Why? Very well. I'll see what I can do. Very well. You've convinced me. That is a bit unnerving. I suppose even if it might lead to answers about what happened to your aunt, it does pose a risk. I'm sorry about your aunt. Don't you want to find out what happened to her? Wait, you've never been inside? Don't tell me he's still going on about... What was it? A scriptorium? Sebastian simply wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells, to try and catch up to the other 5th years. He didn't think you'd mind. He wanted me to have a safe place to practice some spells, to try and catch up to the other 5th years. He didn't think you'd mind. Congratulations on your many years of success, to you and your father. Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry about your father. Is that right? How long have you been in business? Thank you, Mr. Prakash. Best of luck to you and your father. Hello. Do you have anything for sale? Impressive. I'd like to meet her one day. I actually met her, and she introduced me to her work. I'm involved in it now as well. I don't know much about Merlin, if I'm honest, but your wife's work sounds intriguing. Merlin was such a fascinating person. Your wife's work sounds intriguing. Are you related to Nora Treadwell? Pleasure to meet you, Miss Treadwell. Hello. Do you have anything for sale? Needed a little rest from classes. Can't stay in the castle all the time. Just exploring the countryside a bit. Something to consider. Thank you for your help, Mr. Babcock. Hello. Do you have anything for sale? Any other pertinent details about those owls? It was nothing at all, Adelaide. I'm just glad your uncle's safe. Thank you, Professor. I shall remember what you've told me. You didn't report her. Tell them what she'd done. What happened to Asuka? Did she burn her broom as well? Liquid luck. That's illegal, isn't it? What is Felix Felicis? A potion. If you were that good, I can't believe a bit of bad luck could end your entire Quidditch career. I know that feeling. Some things are simply out of our control. I take it you're a fan. I found your heirloom, and I'll give it to you. For a price. That must be the Haggerty family heirloom. A niffler. It wasn't Catherine Haggerty after all. More gold. I must be getting closer. A pile of gold. I must be on the right track. It looks as if the thief took more than they could carry. Now that it's night, I ought to look into this thievery business for Mr. Haggerty. Once night falls. That chest looks interesting. Biscuit is clearly not safe with you, and I know how to protect her. If you're certain you can keep her safe, I suppose I can leave her with you. I think Biscuit will be safer with me, Garnuff. This must be the cellar. Now, to find that venomous tentacula. I found a rather interesting costume. By the way, I found this book of potion recipes in Cambridge. Might it be useful to you? Delivering those potions was a bit more work than I'd expected. I'd like an additional fee. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Pippin. Hello, Nellie. Actually, I've found all of the keys and opened my house chest. I found a rather interesting costume. I actually found them all and opened the chest. I've already caught at least one of them. I wasn't sure what they were for. What do you sell? Am I right that you speak gobbledygook? I need to find Mr. Oakes's wand. Where could it be? Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes. I should try lighting that furnace. It must be connected to the boiler door. A furnace? Could be promising. A boiler door. How to open it? I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you. You mentioned you overheard things. It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before. What will we find in here? Mr. Oakes's trade journal. I heard the Ashwinders were causing trouble around here. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river. It does, somewhat. But at the moment, I'm more concerned about what else you heard the poachers are up to.
Ahem! Attention, students! I hereby decree that the great hall be forthwith decorated in the elegant banners of Ravenclaw. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever. Ahem. Attention, students! I hereby decree that the great hall be forthwith decorated in the dignified banners of Hufflepuff. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever. Ahem. Attention, students! I hereby decree that the great hall be forthwith decorated in the stunning banners of Slytherin. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever. Ahem. Attention, students! I hereby decree that the great hall be forthwith decorated in the noble banners of Gryffindor. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever.
I think I'll just have a look around for now. Has your uncle traded with many goblins? I'm not convinced you need to worry. Perhaps your uncle's been delayed. And surely he can take care of himself. I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble. Hello, Adelaide. You've still not heard from your uncle. Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl. Hello, Adelaide. I received your owl. Yes, Professor, of course. Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet? I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together. I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick? One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play? I wondered about some of the letters in the box. I'd rather not, but if you insist, so be it. If the demand for potions is as high as you say, have you considered being easier to work with? Perhaps combining your recipes and skills? I'm glad you told me. Why didn't you tell me this before? After all our time together, how long have you had a passion for brooms? Sounds as though you took Kagawa's class. That sounds intriguing. I'll see what I can do. I don't know. I've been listening to them for a while now, and I'm starting to lose my mind. Well, surrounding the Moonstone with birds that can drive people mad would certainly be one way to keep it safe. Can you tell me more about these courses? I'm afraid I don't follow. Control? I had to fight him, Fury, all the way. I can't let him leave. I need to move the bones and make a bridge. Perhaps I need to open the sarcophagi. I need to find a way up that ledge. There's Sebastian. Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again. I find your lectures quite engaging, sir. Thank you for sharing your vast knowledge. On the contrary, you've been most helpful. Goodbye. If you would be so kind, Professor Binns. Not exactly, Professor, but I must be on my way. Oh yes, Professor. Please, continue. Well, it appears I'm out of time. Thank you, Professor. Please, go on. Thank you for your time, Professor Binns. But Hogsmeade was just attacked, Professor. Apologies, Professor. Perhaps later. I'm interested in the Goblin rebellions of the past. Professor, could you spare a moment? Didn't the journal say the key to finding the Snidgets lies in the moonlight? We'll simply be honest with them about what we're trying to do. They'll have to help us, won't they? Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig asked that I not speak of it yet. And Ranrock's after something I found at Gringotts. Fig had a portkey that led us there after the dragon attack. It's a bit of a long story, and Fig had asked that I not speak of it yet. What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you? I'm not sure that's worthy of a painting. What a nice idea, Anne. I wish you luck with it. I did, but with his consent, Sebastian. It may seem an irrelevant difference, but it is a difference. We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word. Imperio. It was the only way to get out of here without a fight. Sebastian, the relic! Look! I believe I need to use Accio on the bone piles. Perhaps moving piles of bones towards the center will help. I need to find a safe way across. Rickety bone bridge complete. Now, here's a new challenge. Do you think the pages were left here on purpose? I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered. Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades. I hope they can tell we're sincere, but Poppy, centaurs are just centaurs. They can't read your mind any better than I could. I suppose they are known for having an air of omniscience. I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered. So the repository is safe from Ranrock for now. Have I not proven myself, Professor? I need to get to that repository before Ranrock does. And that's when you took over as the herbology professor. Looks as if there's more than one way to enter. Best keep that little maneuver between us, Highwing. There's the Hogwarts Express! Must be returning from an unscheduled run. It has all been a pleasure, Poppy. Do try and stay out of trouble. Does your gran know that we found the Snidgets? I don't suppose you've heard anything from your parents, have you? Professor Weasley's tasks are complete. I should attend Transfiguration. What is it? It's good to see you again, Doran. Did Poppy tell you about everything that's happened? I agree, Natty. We'll get him. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause. That will be all. Thank you for your time.
Professor!
No, you're right. I haven't forgotten. The cost is too high. Perhaps this magic is best kept contained. I also know the promise, Professor. With all I have learned, I can avoid making the same mistakes as Adora did. I can learn to wield this magic for good. I take it this means you had some luck at the library. It seems Arne's whole life is in those cards. I hope I can find them. Should we expect trouble from the poachers, given the trouble we just caused? Since the dragon we freed flew off, does that mean we get to keep the egg? We aren't helping ourselves standing here. Let's get to safety. We can sort this out later. What now? She didn't exactly leave us a calling card. Poppy, something's going on behind you. I managed to free your carts fairly easily. The ones I faced were determined to make things difficult. That's one crate in hand. I only need one more. That's all of the crates of Chinese chomping cabbages. I'd better go and see Mr. Thistlewood's friend in Feldcroft. Ranrock's loyalists are hiding out near Feldcroft. They must have the other crate of Chinese chomping cabbages. That crate of Chinese chomping cabbages is somewhere in this camp. Sounds like Feldcroft's in trouble. Perhaps I should try to help. Quite an enchantment. The carts are returning to Arne. And a conversation with Bragbor in which she expressed frustration about the limits being placed on her use of ancient magic. Her memories showed what she did for her father, which I also saw in Professor Rookwood's pensive. I'm nearly finished. Only one more vase. I'll not let fear dictate my future either. If it truly is fate, seems there's not much you can do about it. Well said, Professor. I suppose being an aura is dreadfully dangerous. I'm sorry. I imagine a piece of that enormous venomous tentacular would be enough for Duncan to prove his bravery. I need to break its connection to those traces of magic. This is the end, you monster! Not so powerful now, are you, Ranrock? This is for Professor Fig! I will defeat you. In Lodgot's memory. There's nowhere to hide now, Ranrock. 2 sources of power. You've protected yourself again. Not for long. I know you're feeling it now, Ranrock. That did the trick. I have you now, Ranrock. Those traces of magic are somehow protecting the dragon. Past the ruins. I'm on the right track. After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arne. Professor, more trouble ahead. This one's almost down. More of them. That must be the way to the repository. Not at all. I'm fascinated by ghosts and, food, and I was interested in learning more about the castle and the surrounding area. Not at all. I was, intrigued by stories of a giant squid and wanted to learn more. I encountered Scrope, who seemed delighted to share what he knew. Not at all. I, enjoyed talking to Mr. Ollivander. I'm fascinated by wand lore, and I'd never visited the owlery. Bit of a mess. Not at all. I was, merely interested in learning more about the Aura program. I saw Professor Sharp's Aura badge and was intrigued. Professor Fig has encouraged me to explore when I can, in, an effort to complete my field guide. Thank you, Professor.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot.
Once again, this archway allows me to step between completely different rooms. It looks as if a way out has appeared in one of the rooms. If your Gran's all right, and they didn't get the egg, then perhaps we're fine. Watch your step. How charming. They keep in touch with each other. Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize. Centaurs aren't known for being the friendliest lot, especially not with wizard kind. And not right now. You ought to be more cautious in the future. Men like Rookwood and Harlow could do much worse than stealing a book.
I realize that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the tower, Rookwood Castle. Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragbor. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizard kind. We have no time to waste. I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, what you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. I found it disturbing. But how did she gain power from it? How did she harness it? I was amazed to see that it seemed to give her some sort of power, and that she could harness it. But how? Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed. Was Isadora inhaling painful emotions? Young. I know. You must be Professor Bakar. Step aside, Ominous. Stay in place until we're out of sight. Imperio! If I light the boiler, the door should open. Looks as if there are pipes leading to it. This door must need power from something.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
The final canvas piece of the triptych. We've done it!
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. Professor Weasley. Good day. I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful. Well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me. I've decided to give him a bit more leeway with his time. Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig. Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you. Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me. Obviously. What was that, Broom? I say, why don't you bring a sample of your next batch to my office? I'd like to give it a try. Bah, that's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
Interesting way to hide some treasure.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
So, how do you already have Polyjuice Potion to change into Professor Black? Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned. Now, to Freon's carts. Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office. So do I. But I don't understand why she seems to have gone to such great lengths to tell her story without their knowledge. Now to get out of this blasted place. We have our work cut out for us. We need to work together if we're going to find the final piece to the triptych. That's why they always seem to be one step ahead. I know what I'm doing. You need to trust me, or I don't see that we can continue together. He told me that Ranrock somehow knows about the Keepers and is searching anywhere connected to each of them. That I do. Are you concerned she might tell your mother? I wonder what casting Accio on that ring atop the painting would do. There must be some sort of clue on the painting itself. I wouldn't do that to you, Cressida. Only trying to teach you to be a little more careful. And you're not who I thought you to be. Based upon your diary, you seem terribly judgmental. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble. I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack. They attacked you. Good. Ranrock clearly knows more than we thought. We need to be careful and do this right, not just go charging in. We do. Listen to me. Lodgok has insights into Ranrock that we don't. Stop it, that's enough. Not all goblins are like Ranrock. I am not the enemy. We want the same thing, to find answers. Lodgok said, listen to me. I know you're angry and frustrated, but charging ahead now could undo all the progress we've made. All right. Now, shall we see why the triptych led is here? I know. We don't have a choice. I do care about Anne, but I'm tired of explaining myself. Perhaps we should part ways. Of course I care, Sebastian. We've come this far. Don't let your frustration get the better of you. They're showing me the memories in a particular order. It doesn't work like that. To access each of these memories, I have to complete a trial. It's not as easy as you think. Seems you're more concerned with the feathers than the bird. But she'd be safer with you than with poachers. Sounds as if she needs rescuing. I know the perfect place. I suppose I should watch for Gwynaira. At night, apparently. Ominous, Sebastian meant well. That platform looks like it ought to get me where I need to go. Perhaps casting at that object over there will help somehow. Perhaps I should get the blocks back to the starting position. I need to move the blocks into place to jump this gap. I should try casting Depulso to move those blocks. These blocks must be moved in order for me to climb up. Perhaps these blocks can be moved. Orders. Directly from Ranrock. When I pass through the archway, I enter another room entirely. A new room. The room around me has changed again. I must remember to examine these archways from both sides. Each side is different somehow. More traces of ancient magic. Something must be different. Another pensive. More crystallized stone. That must be the way back to the map chamber. Casting Leviosa ought to raise the tree out of the ground. Perhaps I could get that tree to move. There's something intriguing about that tree. Sorry, never mind. In class, I heard you mention the Toyohashi Quidditch team. Professor, do you have a moment? But it wasn't your fault. you didn't know about the potion in the tea. During class, you mentioned the Toyohashi Quidditch team. Actually, now isn't the best time after all. I was curious to know more about your background. Professor, may we speak again? Forgive me, I was sure you must have been raised in the countryside. That sounds lovely. All the sights and bustle of a city. Professor, I was wondering where you're from. What's your background? Apologies, Professor. Perhaps later. I was wondering, what made you want to teach herbology? Professor Garlick, a moment of your time? I had no idea. How awful. I'm glad everything worked out as it did, and that you're the herbology professor now. Fair bit of bad luck there, I'd say. What a string of bad luck. Oh dear. A shame for him, but it worked out well for you. Professor, what made you want to teach herbology? Perhaps I should cast Accio to get that frame out of the way first. Something is getting in the way of that platform. One more to go and I'll make it across. I should check the map again for clues. Perhaps I should try casting Lumos near that moth. Perhaps something here belongs in the portrait frame. There must be something here that I need. Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. He's in Hogsmeade, apparently. Perhaps I shall pay him a visit. No, Sebastian, I haven't. You're not listening to me. Destroying the pillars will bring the ceiling down on the drill. The pillars are weakening. I have to find a way to stop that drill. Incendio will light this. Then I can move along from here once and for all. If this is anything like last time, I need to fire up this boiler to supply power to the pipes. Another boiler. Crafty goblins. Incendio ought to light the boiler and provide some power to these machines. Those pipes must power something around here. I wonder where these pipes go. Accio should bring that platform right to me. What can I use to make my way through here? I need to keep going forward somehow. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied. Piers Pemberton. Incendio should get this boiler working. This should work the same way as the last one. Another boiler. But it's not boiling. Accio ought to bring that platform closer. That could help bridge the gap. There ought to be something around here to help cross the gap. We'll need to get across this gap somehow. Disillusionment should get us through that door. We need to break its line of sight somehow. The door is looking at us. I should use disillusionment. That eye won't see a thing. We won't get through as long as we can be seen by that eye. We're being watched. By a door. Thank you for your help, Deke. Perhaps it's under the platform. Perhaps the next symbol is hidden somewhere. I'll need to look around for the symbol. Oh, behind the rock. There's the symbol. I need to light all three before they time out on me. I can shoot the symbol, but it doesn't stay lit for long. Incendio ought to make quick work of these webs. I should be able to burn away these webs. I should use Incendio to burn these vines away. I wonder what's under these vines. Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest? What if I stood on one platform and used Accio on the other? That ought to work. Things are definitely different on either side of the archway. But how? Now to see what's changed on each side of this archway. So that's it. I need to use both sides of the archway to get the platform to the other side of the bridge. I need to see how the room changes when I move in and out of the archway. What did that burst of magic change on both sides of the archway? Something must be different. I can see a way out on one side, but when I pass through the archway, it's blocked by a wall. The room changes when I move in and out of the archway. What did that burst of magic do? Perhaps I should examine things from both sides of the archway. I need to bring moths to the door. Making this spin ought to raise that platform. That must be it. This looks even more complex. I ought to use the crate to break through the floor here. Perhaps the only way forward is down. The floor looks a little weak here. I ought to stand on the pillar as it ascends. There must be another moth nearby. This is a bit more complicated. I ought to see how the moth reacts to Lumos. Moths are attracted to light. A moth? Curious. The Grey Lady. I'd say hello, but she doesn't seem particularly social. I don't understand. What can I do to help? Each of these barrels needs to be pulled up to the line on the floor. Could I use a spell to move some of these barrels? The passage ends here. There must be a way through. Not just yet. I'm still looking around. Yeah. Yes, please. I'm ready to leave if you are. I suppose it is rather late, isn't it? That sounds a fine idea. But I would like to look around a little before we leave. Agreed. I'm ready to leave if you are. Are you finished with the drawing? It's clear from her journal that Isadora Morganach was here. And the bad news? Here are some of the memories I've seen. I don't think he and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used. But if she was using the Undercroft and the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, why would she create this space? I suppose so. Perhaps we could simply enjoy this victory for a moment. Do you think there's a connection to the triptych? That's incredible. You know this area well. Perhaps the book Professor Weasley wants me to get is upstairs. Give me a moment. I'll explain in a second. I'm glad to hear it. I'm not certain I needed all the extra assignments. True. Perhaps this triptych will lead us to answers. Yes, him. That's the one. I don't think he likes being called that. It was an old schoolmate of yours, Piers Pemberton. He is a bit much for a caretaker, but he means well. And he's terrified of those statues. Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues. They're causing Mr. Moon terrible distress. They're quite clever. Pardon me, sir. But about those curious demiguise statues I've seen, I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those demiguise moons. Thank you, Professor. The extra assignments have been helpful. I know that's a lot to take in. I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic. There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. What I do know is that my ability allows me to travel through these windows I see. That's true, and I'm still not sure what it all means. Fair enough. I can see the Undercroft through this stone wall, as though it's a window. This has happened before. You for answers about what happened to Anne, and me for answers about the Keepers. It is all a bit much, isn't it, when you put it like that? The point is, we both have good reason to search this house. They call themselves Keepers because they're protecting some type of knowledge. It all has to do with the vault at Gringotts. I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best. Isadora and Percival Rackham, another of the Keepers, could see traces of ancient magic too. A cavern within a cavern. I'm intrigued. Ranrock's loyalists never knew to look for it. I think we're going to be a bit distracted from runes for a moment. We can, but perhaps best not to tell anyone else about this for now. Even ominous. Well done. You certainly know what you were doing. How do you track a dragon long after she's gone? I've never felt such power. Can this be? I think I'm invisible. For better or for worse, we're in. Natty, is everything all right? Whatever it is, it had better have to do with Snidgets. I don't think Doran would knowingly send us into danger. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided? If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud. I don't blame her for being concerned. We have been involved in some dangerous activities. You said Jackdaw's ghost appeared briefly, then vanished. Where do you think he went? Revelio ought to make quick work of this. Mr. Filbert, would you mind repeating what Harlow did to you? I want to understand correctly. If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now. You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow, as he requested. Seems these journal entries are from Isadora's travels. Miss Moffat, could you remind me what you needed me to do again, please? Can you tell me what the Diracall Den looks like? Why are you fixated on Gwenaira and not rescuing all the Diracalls? That's what the leader of the herd called him. Isn't Moonstone all around us? Why retrieve one from a cave? He could have been a bit clearer, or stayed a moment and answered our questions. I don't know, but I am inclined to believe him. What with his being a centaur and all. Exactly. Must we? Seems a lot of trouble to go to for a creature we've already rescued. That's a good idea. We need to see this through. We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us. Who value creatures as much as... That's right. Speaking of secrets, I do want to tell you why Victor Rookwood's after me. He's working with Ranrock. Nothing wrong with that. Highwing's good company. Highwing is nice company, but perhaps it's time to add a few more friends to your circle. Had you never been to the Three Broomsticks? You can always count on me for a fight when it comes to poachers. Of course. It's the sort of thing friends do for each other, isn't it? I see Doran finally convinced you to leave the Snidgets, but now we have the upper hand. We can prepare. Professor, what did you mean when you said your education wasn't traditional? Professor, I wondered if I might ask how long you've been teaching at Hogwarts. May I ask what led you to accept a position at Hogwarts after your career as an Auror? Professor, I saw an Auror badge on your desk. May I ask about your time as an Auror? Revelio will show me where she was taken. I shall have to keep a lookout for more of these. I wonder how many there are. Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time. Professor, may I ask you something? Apologies, Professor. Perhaps another time. I wondered if I might ask how long you've been teaching at Hogwarts. Perhaps another time then, sir. Thank you. Why did you leave your position as an Auror to come to Hogwarts? I saw an Auror badge on your desk and was wondering if you could tell me more about your time as an Auror. Perhaps another time then, sir. Thank you. How would you know? Sebastian told me a little of what happened when you were young. Sounds as if you had no choice. I have to say, I enjoyed that. The armband that guard was wearing was glowing. You're welcome. Happy to be of assistance. I confess I was surprised when Professor Weasley mentioned that you knew the area, since you're relatively new here. Can't wait to explore a bit more myself. Seems the Highlands go on forever. A mooncalf is an unusual pet. Why did you choose Biscuit? In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, they've also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble. Ominous. The journal mentions many challenges ahead. Never mind. Gareth? Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Natty must be around here somewhere. Some evidence worth hanging on to. Where am I to find these friends of his? What sort of plants should I expect in the hidden herbology corridor? Sounds quite the array of brooms. I'll have a look around, thank you. Could you remind me what I'm to do with the Thestrals, Deke? What reason would Harlow have to kill your husband? Is there anything more you can tell me about Harlow? May I ask you something, Mrs. Bickle? Looks like someone's belongings. Perhaps Bardolph's. This mentions Inferi. And something about it being Bardolph's turn next. Bardolph's woolen jumper. I'm not sure Madame Beaumont would want to know what really happened to him. An entry from Bardolph's journal. He overheard whispers. A plan, something to do with him. Is that Inferius wearing a woolly jumper? That must be Bardolph. This must be where Bardolph was last seen before he disappeared. These look like the ruins Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. Ashwinders are everywhere. We can't let them know we're here. We need to get this open. Is there anything your brother took with him that might help to track him down? What a horrible tale, Deke. I'm so sorry. It sounds to me as if your master got what he deserved. What do you mean to blame? I'm sorry that we both can see Thestrals, Deke. Any idea where I might find the crates? Nice to meet you. You sent crates of cabbages to battle Ranrock's loyalists. Good idea. Those cabbages are nothing to be trifled with. Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off? I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some Horklumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters. Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to harvest some Horklumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters. Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. I have good news. Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like? Where did you say I should go to harvest the Horklumps and find the box of letters? And where did you say the box of letters was again? It almost seems as if it wants me to follow it. I need to find it before the poachers do. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back. I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these Horklumps. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back. This must be Sirona's box of letters. The Troll Whisperer. Seems fitting. The Troll Vanquisher. Suppose I did earn the title. The Troll Slayer. Has a nice ring to it. I managed to catch them off guard. Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that. One camp down. One more to go. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether. That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Almost there. One more Horklump to harvest. Getting there. Just a few more Horklumps to harvest. That's at least one Horklump. Better have a look around. See if I can find that box of letters. Better have a look around. See about the Horklumps and the box of letters. This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle. I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle. She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion. A troll on the loose near a hamlet. That could be devastating. One of Ranrock's camps. Exactly as Madame Beaumont described. Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle. Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill. I suppose I should start at the forest, north of the hamlet. Could Bardolph have run off? Mrs. Sprottle told me a little more about your brother, Bardolph. Where can I find this statue? Ranrock is working with Rookwood. Let's go. I don't think so. Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders? Without Revelio, we'll have no hope of finding him. Is this Mr. Bickle's home? I suspect he'll keep running if he's being followed. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Bickle. Who killed your husband? Are you all right? We're looking for Mr. Bickle. Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time? Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenwild potion on hand? Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something. I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ranrock. It sounds as if her astrolabe is just northeast of the dock. I should dive down and see. It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. What were the horrible stories you were told about the Forbidden Forest? Very well. If I have time, I shall see where they lead. You want me to follow the butterflies? I'll need to get those dried billywig stings for Gareth if he's to finish his latest concoction. Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them. I see no reason we should stop now. Believe me, I am having thoughts, but I'm still convinced we should go ahead. Why would someone risk their life for spider venom? That's it for Selwyn. I should go and see Madame Olivier back in Cragcroft about that bounty. Sounds as if Sylvana Selwyn has to go. Hello, Cressida. I collected your books, including your diary. Why did our meet tell Madame Scribner that they were your books? I believe so, sir. Good. Different. I sensed a sort of surge of some kind. Treasure hunting suits me. Treasure must be nearby. The candles seem to be leading into the Forbidden Forest. That spot must be a clue. I should look around in case it's nearby. There's something about that tree. Hello? There's a voice coming from that well. Everything is safer now because of us. Because of you. From what I know of him, it seems there's a lot of your father in you. Then I shouldn't feel guilty? You quickly made the choice to protect me. You did what came naturally. I'm sorry, Natty. It's my fault you got hurt. I'm glad to see you're doing so well. I see a platform below. I wonder if I could use it. I can use Accio on that platform below. That platform is just out of reach. Where is he? Always armed and ready for a fight, Ranrock's loyalists. Not Doran. That's for certain. Your gran would love it here. Whoever built this place certainly liked to read. So many books. What makes you say that? We do. I hope we haven't kept you waiting long, Doran. It is a little strange we haven't heard anything from them. I think that was all of them. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage, just before I came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. Rookwood and Harlow want something Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts. Professor Fig told me to keep things quiet. But I know I can trust you, Natty. No, they didn't. Rookwood and Harlow are after me. Where do you suggest I search first? I'd better watch my step here. Perhaps we ought to inform Officer Singer of our plans, but she warned us to stay out of it. Was rather adamant about it. Fair point. All right, let's go. Agreed. Let's finish this. I don't know if we should be rushing into this. Harlow knows that we saved Archie, and that we rescued Mr. Rabe. The letter didn't come from Mrs. Bickle, did it? Professor Weasley wanted to speak with me after class. I agree, Natty. We'll get them. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause. I'm sorry, Natty. I wish there was something I could do to help. It's not your fault, Natty. There's nothing you could have done to prevent it. This stairwell looks promising. Perhaps you wouldn't be who you are without that experience. Hello? Were you calling me? I shall look forward to it. The cave must be somewhere in this maze. I wonder what else is in here. I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided? I wonder how everyone knows about it. I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders. If that's what you want to do, Penny, then nothing would make me happier. I'm genuinely glad you'll be staying on. There's Selwyn. I wonder if I can pull his guards away. What's so dangerous about the Ashwinders? Where is Clagmar Castle? Sylvana Selwyn? I thought Victor Rookwood headed up the Ashwinders. Both Anne and your uncle seem genuinely convinced that nothing more can be done for her. With all due respect, sir, hope could keep Anne's spirits up. I understand what you're saying, sir. Sebastian is single-mindedly focused on finding a way to help his sister. If there is a cure, he will find it. Perhaps the healers don't know everything, sir. It could be that you've not yet discovered the cure. I'm so sorry. I understand you've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's to no avail. Just one more gobstone. Well, that's one of Zenobia's gobstones. I hardly see what all the fuss is about. I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Haven't you any friends at school? I myself feel studying is worthy of a more serious approach. I, for one, am glad. I very much enjoy your class. Professor, what did you mean when you said your education wasn't traditional? I'll do my best, Professor. Thank you for the advice. I'm sorry to hear that, sir. It sounds as if your experience as a student was less than ideal, and that's why you teach the way you do. Some of the professors may not agree with your approach. Professor, do you have time to chat? Indeed, sir. Thank you for your time. And I do hope you find a cure for your injury. You're seeking to heal the damage done to your leg. Was it due to an injury suffered during your time with the Ministry? Was it due to a particular interest in potions? Professor, do you have a moment to speak again? Actually, it's nothing. Let's get the shop going. Penny, you're free. You can do anything you've ever wanted to. I look forward to working with you. Penny, I found an item of clothing in the dungeon that I'd like to give you. Cassandra Mason! Was she behind all of this? I did. In order that I have a successful shop with lots of customers, would you agree to causing chaos only after 9 o'clock in the evening? Very well. I shall agree to your contract. With one small addendum. Hello, Penny. You knew exactly where I was going when I entered that chest. May I ask what happened? That sounds positively exhilarating. That seems a bit more dangerous than teaching potions. Professor Sharp, do you have a moment? This is what you call matching wits. Match wits? Just to sign a contract. How many more of these mannequins are there? Perhaps I can find a way to reveal the path. I wonder if the chess pieces on the board indicate where I can't go. That was the wrong square. Perhaps the lanterns are meant to be hung on the hands. These lanterns must belong somewhere. Seems as if I should hang something there. This must be Cressida's diary. I'd want this back too if I were her. Here you are. Unless you want your classmates to know how you really feel about them, you might reward me for my time. All right, I have the egg. Look, down there. I must say, I wasn't prepared for him to be as angry as he was. Sebastian mentioned something about your uncle being an ex-Aura, but refusing to go after Ranrock's loyalists. With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this. And you think Peeves ripped those pages from the book I found in the restricted section? I'm not sure about this. I can't imagine they're fond of being surprised. Once we tell them about the Snidgets, they'll understand why we came, and they'll want to help. Is this where we're meeting the Centaurs? Poachers were here, all sorts of evidence. But I found something else. It's goblin-made. Whatever gave her that idea? I don't see a way to open the door. A hidden door. Footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hogshead. Perhaps I'll find her there. Now to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty. We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends. I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe. What do you mean? Why? Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him. Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down. Please, sir, I would like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle. Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow. I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer? You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened? I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him. Excuse me, Mr. Filbert, may I ask you about Mr. Bickle's friends? What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people? Very well, I'll speak with them. See what I can learn. All right, if I have the time, I may look. Could be intriguing. Are there other empty paintings like this around the school? What is it? Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers? Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden? Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget? I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that. If it's all right with you, I'd rather not say. At least not at the moment. Rookwood is working with Ranrock. And Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. The dragon that attacked my carriage was wearing a collar. And Professor Fig was genuinely baffled by its behavior. I plan to keep it a secret for now, but in time, when I'm ready, I plan to tell those I trust everything and accept their help. The Keepers were right. The risk of using this magic is too dangerous. It is my responsibility alone to keep it safe. Isadora wasted her ability trying to save people from themselves. I will not let others dictate what I do with this. My power. Isadora knew she had a remarkable power to help people. I intend to use my ability to finish her work. Build upon it. I plan to keep the repository as it is. I've decided to open the repository. Its power cannot lie dormant for centuries more. What's going on here? I got here as soon as I could. Seems Crossed Wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be. A flying page must be around here somewhere. This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is. Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo? I'll start on the task right away, Professor. We're making good progress. We can't quit now. She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now. She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from? We're almost out of here, Amit. Look, the lift. There must be a quicker way out of here than retracing our steps. That should be the last of them, Amit. Stay close. I've handled much worse. I'll get us through here safely, Amit. You have my word. I'm glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here. They're building enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories. Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok. That wasn't so bad, was it? Hello, Lenora. Could you remind me what's so special about that empty painting? The vaults seem to go on forever. What is this? Wait, Professor. The name Rookwood. Do you think... What was it you needed me to do, Scrope? There is. I've seen symbols like these before. I need to find all of them, then cast at them quickly in succession. We don't want to worry you. It may be too late for that. I'm afraid Harlow's already after us. I'm sorry again about your husband, Mrs. Bickle. How can we help? Your husband's friends may be in danger. We wouldn't have it any other way, Archie. Now, let's get you home. We know a safe way back. We're so sorry, Archie. We won't let him get away with it, but first we need to get you home to your mother. Your mother sent us to find you. I met a ghost there, Richard Jackdaw, who's agreed to lead me to the pages I've been looking for. Hello, Scrope. Thanks to you, I was able to enter Apollina's grotto. The toast was the key. I imagine the desk of description will come in handy. It was a bit trickier than the others, but I have a mooncalf now. I rescued a Jobberknoll. I managed to rescue a Puffskein. What did Officer Singer say about the letter you brought her? Archie's satchel! Why would he leave it behind? We'll find your son, Mrs. Bickle. Do you know which way Archie might have gone? He must be around here somewhere. When did you last see him? I don't mean to be grim, but... could Harlow have taken him? You mentioned offering something in exchange for my assistance. How many statues are there to find? Understood. I shall keep an eye out. The candles correspond to the handles I'm to pull in order to open the way forward. Accio should do the trick. I see. There must be something to the arrangement of the candles. Those candles must be important. The Richard Jackdaw. I heard you disappeared years ago. You have some explaining to do. A note from Jackdaw. Anne never found it. So how did he die? Was she to blame at all? Whatever Jackdaw left for Anne must be back there, beyond this wall. There's something back there, beyond the wall. How do I get back there? Hello, Grace. Can I help you? Are you certain you don't want to come the rest of the way? Nothing to do now but keep going. A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about. Oh, no. Not this close to the school, Emmett. Thank you, Professor. I look forward to stargazing. No risk those loyalists will report back to Ranrock now. Let's see where Jackdaw has led me. Something oddly solemn about this place. Such regal creatures, stags. The waterfall. For a thief, Jackdaw's surprisingly as good as his word. The bridge Jackdaw mentioned. I must be going the right way. All right. But how? I'm all right at the moment. He was certainly a charmer. But why would he think that we had anything to do with poachers? Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well, Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well, I bet if I knock that down, it will open the way forward. Down below. What's that hanging there? Looks precarious. I know. Depulso should set this spinning. I see. This is supposed to spin. But how? Perhaps some light will lead these moths to the door. This has a moth imprinted on it. The same as the door. Down I go. No other way. Moths. Curious. You should have worked it out on your own. I am only joking. I found the location depicted in the painting, and then I cast Lumos to guide a moth back to the frame. If I want to speak to Jackdaw about those pages, I'd better set to work destroying these pumpkins. I suppose there's nothing to be done but obliterate these pumpkins. Seems simple enough. That ghost said I should blast away to my heart's content. I did. Thank you again, Scrope. You're a credit to House Elves. I'm sorry to say that Jackdaw sold it long ago. I did, but something was missing. I'm not sure here is the best place to discuss it. That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow? Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own. And you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock. Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair, and you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock. Hello, Professor. Did you say Sandbakar's tower? Very well, Professor. Tell me where I need to go. And, sir, they know you were a keeper. Ranrock used the term, and Ranrock knows about the keepers. You didn't see anything? Speak with anyone? I'm sorry to tell you that Victor Rookwood, evidently your descendant, is a dark wizard in league with Ranrock. You wanted to see me, sir? What's happening? I don't really. Ollivander does. It's the pages I'm after. Might they be with the wand in the cave? So, you stole a wand and then followed a map on some pages that you took from Peeves and followed that map to your doom. The Richard Jackdaw. So, Mr. Ollivander was right. He wants his family wand back. Yes, Professor. Thank you, sir. I will look out for them. My studies. Yes, sir. You look familiar, sir. We saw you in the Pensive, in Gringotts, with Professor Rackham. I did. I found something that I can't identify floating above the last Pensive. Keeping things from Gran, are we? You seem quite interested in merpeople. Of course. What did the letter say? I've only met Highwing before. Poppy introduced us. I've never met Rookwood or Harlow. Perhaps they mistook me for another student. They want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts. What sort of stand? I'm all right at the moment. Up! Any beasts the room can't hold? Hello, Sophronia. That was quite the quiz you gave me. What are you up to now? This is quite a hideaway. Why would I need a piece of toast? I suppose that's where it goes. Perhaps I should find something to stand on. I'm sorry about your mooncalf, Mr. That's correct, Professor. All right. She also mentioned that poachers have been active in the area, so perhaps the beast will be safer with us than out there on their own. I should use Reparo on this broken armor. I wonder if I can hit the rune with a spell. Speaking of the vault, do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts? The keepers believe that removing someone's ability to feel pain, it's a highly complicated, unpredictable form of magic. One that should be wielded with great care. If at all. I'm not sure that they would. But I don't know how to do what Isadora did. Yes, you're right. We have seen that view before. The abandoned home in Felcroft, the destroyed painting. It was her. I think the reason Isadora hasn't appeared is because she can't. No, not the memories, the portrait. Something isn't right, Sebastian. It's nice to learn about another wizarding school. Spells cast without a wand must be less powerful than those cast with a wand. You can cast spells without a wand. This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here? Is Wagadu a castle like Hogwarts? Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts? Well, it's been nice talking and competing with you. So this is the underground harbour. That book Professor Weasley asked me to find should be around here somewhere. Ethelred the Ever-Ready, Cadmus Peveril, Ulick Gamp, the Loch Ness Monster, Pantagruel, Galingantua, Sir Lancelot, Sir Luckless, Sir Amset, North America, the Amazon Rainforest, the Scottish Highlands, a smaller pot, his wand, a single slipper, Linfrid of Stinchcombe, Basil Flack, Bowman Wright, Sopper Forest Bean, Fluxweed, Mimblus Mimbletonia, Webbed Feet, Bad Luck, Hairy Ears, Stooging, Haversacking, Blatching. You have a new spell to teach me, Professor? Understood, Professor. I'm fairly certain she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming. I did try to evade her questions, though I feel a little deceptive. That said, I did my best. But she caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. Yes, sir, but I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. Your fault. How so? The more I think about it, what good will it do to turn him in? I realize that, but it's the right thing to do. He killed his uncle. I don't have time for another quiz at the moment. Give me your worst. Amortentia, Viracitiserum, Elixir to induce euphoria, the Amazon Rainforest, the Pyrenees, Mount Greylock, the Rune's Paw, the Ashwinder, the Basilisk. Look before you leap. Never tickle a sleeping dragon. Knowledge is the real magic. Lavender Montmorency, Evangeline Orpington, Gamp, the Patronus Charm, the Stunning Spell, the Knockback Jinx, a Demiguise, a Rune's Paw, a Letherfold, Quincy Hogg, Alfreda Clag, Hengist of Woodcroft, the Ukrainian Ironbelly, the Peruvian Viper Tooth, the Antipodean Opale, Beatrix Bloxham, Sir Agravain, Egbert the Egregious, the Order of Merlin, the International Confederation of Wizards, the Wizards' Council. He's faltering! Took him long enough! Are we weakening him at all? Are we weakening him at all? A taste of his own medicine. I was trying to beat him at his own game. If the triptych led us here to find this bit of canvas, we can probably assume that Isadora Morganach was here. For now, though, I need to get back to the map chamber and tell Fig what's happened. There! I saw something. I realize it's a lot to take in. I'm not even sure I understand it all yet. And no, not like Quidditch. You wanted to discuss my progress so far this term, Professor. If that's the only way I can convince you to give me that book, then let's get it over with. A quiz sounds like fun. Professor Weasley asked me to, get something from that book. May I have it? Quiz? I don't have time for a quiz at the moment. I'd like to answer more questions. False. True. The quaffle. The bludger. The snitch. The Founder's relics. Horcruxes. The Deathly Hallows. The Pepper-Up potion. Felix Felicis. The Aliotzi draft. The Snakebird. The Golden Snidget. The Golden Snuggery. I see. Can I regain resources by vanishing something I've already conjured? What I need specifically is a place where I can catch up on my schoolwork without distraction. I was thinking about needing a place away from prying eyes. Brilliant. I understand. Thank you, sir. She was unnerved by Isadora's use of ancient magic. But I still can't be sure how any of it connects to Ranrock. Did you know that I would be here? Suppose I have enough to distract myself with till he returns with the book. Sebastian, that relic you mentioned. All this time, we've been a step behind Ranrock. I may know someone who could help us get ahead. We should wait. And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again. I ought to look around before using the passageway. A journal entry of Isadora's. I should hold on to this. There might be something here worth a closer look. What do you mean? What do you mean? Is she all right? There you are. You were in such a state when you left. Unless what? What kind of research is she doing? What was she sending you? What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking? I didn't keep you waiting, did I? Unless what? Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them. A house elf named Scrope sent me. Said I might find a black family ring here. It's you. You mentioned someone named Priya. Thank you, Professor. It's a pleasure to meet you as well. What was the glowing stand that Isadora pulled from her father's chest? I'm ready for whatever comes next. Thank you, Professor. I shall keep this second artifact safe, as you've advised. I don't suppose you'd like to start from the beginning. I think Poppy and I could use that. You knew the poachers would try to kill Poppy and me. I'm ready if you are. Could this actually be where the Snidgets are hidden? Is the pattern they left behind on the ground normal? You've seen this before. We were around so many poachers in the tent. Were you not worried about being recognized? If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to. I'd love to hear about how you and Highwing met. In the second, they were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought. I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book. It was a book we were after. Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section, as it appeared on the map. He seemed trustworthy. Difficult to know, really. But Sirona Ryan trusts him. I believe he's trustworthy, yes. He seemed sincere, and Sirona Ryan trusts him. I received your owl. I was able to speak with Lodgok, the goblin I mentioned before. I'm a student at Hogwarts, sir, and this is Professor Fig. We're not alone. How am I being protected? What sort of magic is this? No sign of Lodgok out here. He must be inside already. Where does this one lead? Off the beaten path, I suspect. Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea. Shall we go? Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow, like the dragon collar. Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind. Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match. Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match. I'll send word to Fig to meet me in the map chamber. He and the keepers need to know Ranrock has that journal and knows where the final repository is. Poor Lodgok. Dead by his brother's hand. No wonder he tried so hard to reason with him. I hope I can get to Ranrock before Lodgok does. I can end this right now. I have to destroy the drill and stop Ranrock's loyalists. Ranrock is here. I only hope Lodgok doesn't cross paths with him. Lodgok's getting himself into more danger than he realizes. I'd better find him. I'm not sure I have time for extra assignments, Professor. Can you tell me more about the potion shop, Professor? Thank you, Professor. Understood, Professor. Let's just say I'm a quick learner. You're good. Let's take a closer look. It's Hogwarts. Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle? Not an entanglement we need right now. Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward. Not that I recall. What are they, Professor? Well, this isn't ideal. It's locked. An unlocking charm. Expelliarmus ought to disarm you brutes. This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you. Yes, Professor. Here it is. The map that brought your doom, Jackdaw. Is there something beyond this room? You've been very helpful. Thank you. Aside from the bird bath, anything else I should look for? It's feeding off the power from the repository. My spells are having no effect on the dragon. I wonder when Professor Fig will be back. I did promise him I wouldn't neglect my studies while he was away. I have to believe that only a Ravenclaw would have had the intelligence to get this far. I have to believe that only a Gryffindor would have had the courage to get this far. I have to believe that only a Hufflepuff would have had the tenacity to get this far. I have to believe that only a Slytherin would have been ambitious enough to get this far. Revelio could be useful here. Please could you explain the rules again? Where can I find Jackdaw's head? Hello again. Can you help me? Thank you, Professor Weasley. What will I learn in Charms class? You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor. Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
I should think you'd have better things to do with your time. Ahem. Now, where's my elf?
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death? I've seen a wall like this before. It must be the way back. I'll know it when I see it. Well done, Poppy. This did end up being the right cave after all. Did you need something, Poppy? Oh, that's where they're leading me. That glow again. The wisps of magic seem to be leading me somewhere. Did you discover why people avoid this cave? Well, we're here. We might as well have a look. Impressive, especially with how little information he gave us. Let's make them count. I can't believe it. Rookwood's reign is finally over. I'll need to send an owl to Natty right away. I'd like to ask you about your shop if you don't mind. Just having a look around. Thank you. Something smells sweet. Must be close to Honeydukes. Aha! Got it. That did the trick. Doesn't look like anyone's been down here in ages. Best keep moving. So this is the infamous absconder. What do you mean you'd had enough and the worst was over? Miss Willardsey will never believe where the butterflies led me. Poachers. I need to be careful. Now then. Which one of you is Biscuit? That's the last of them. For now. Ashwinders. I'd better find a way around them. Or perhaps through them. Surely she'll be pleased you've gone after the Snidgets. How's your gran doing, by the way? That's the last of them. Seems I was a match for Herodiana Byrne after all. I see. The switch reset everything. Good to know. Now to see if Herodiana Byrne was as good as Sophronia said she was. Just my luck. A troll. Ugh! That smells awful! Only 4 more, thank goodness. Into the forbidden forest for boobatubers. I hope it's worth the risk. Pelts. Poor beasts. Why wouldn't they take their cages with them when they left? Still smoking. They can't have been gone long. You too, Amit. I do recall seeing the memory, but I don't remember all of the details. Hello? Professor Fig? I see some sort of statue, but only as a reflection in the floor. That statue. That glow again. But on the floor. What do you mean, earn our way out? Do you think this is some sort of test? I know that's a lot to absorb. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it. And I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it. And I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic. Revelio? Not a fair one, though. Not with her chained up like that. Please, we don't want any trouble. We're simply passing through. We aren't involved with them. If anything, we want to see them stopped. Absolutely, sir. That's what we're trying to find out. I don't know, but Fig and I think that Ranrock has somehow found a way to harness that magic's power. Sebastian, it's been a while. I can't be sure, of course, but I don't think so. I didn't see any traces of it around your sister. Sebastian, this house did belong to a Hogwarts professor. Hundreds of years ago. The keepers have shown me other memories as well. The girl became a Hogwarts professor. Her name was Isadora Morganach. She was one of the keepers. I found her pensive that day in the restricted section, with a memory that showed this house. There was a little girl and a drought. This well looks familiar. Sebastian, I've seen this before. The house, the well, the view. They don't scare me. I want to see whatever it is you need to show me. Only one way to find out. You said you had news about the poachers, and that some of it had to do with me. Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there. Any whisperings of anything going about the town? Are you all right, Anne? I didn't mean to intrude. Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office? What more can you tell me about this place, Professor Rackham? The statues and carvings in the house on the cliffside. Those are of you. Are you a seer? I'm a bit confused, sir. Why is this room called the map chamber? Very well. I'll retrieve the book right away. Highwing's fine. I'm keeping an eye on her. She's safe, Poppy, I promise. After pulling the block out through the archway, I can place it where it can be climbed on while on the other side of the archway. Is it possible to pull one of those blocks through the archway? Hitting those marks readjusts the archways. Perhaps there's a way forward from the other side of this one. There's a pillar here, but no ledge near it for me to grab onto. The bridges appear and disappear, depending upon which side of the archway I'm on. Perhaps I'm to hit the mark on the far wall. That sort of thing has repositioned the archways in the past. I believe I need to proceed to the left here. But how? If I arrange the archway correctly, I should be able to move the pillar and clear the path. Is there any way to reposition this archway? That pillar is blocking the path. I'll need to move it. I need to reposition the pillar whilst on one side of the archway so that I can climb it on the other side of the archway. Perhaps I can only move objects while I'm on the other side of the archway. I need to reposition that pillar to climb out of here. Perhaps the archway is the answer. We are, and we were glad to help. Then I must go now and craft this wand. Perhaps Mr. Ollivander will help me. What am I to do with the artifacts, Professor Rackham? That sounds wonderful, Mr. Ollivander. I'm eager to try it out. I'm ready to finish Harlow once and for all. What is your plan? Isadora told Bragbor about the magic when she asked him to build a container for her. I've seen her memories. I'm afraid I can't say. I didn't read the journals. Very well. Lodgok and Ranrock were brothers. Lodgok was bringing the journal to me. What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted. In goblin silver. She was, and she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald. Without permission. That's the last of Zenobia's gobstones. I should go and see her. I had a good teacher. Shouldn't you be preparing for your next class, or helping a student? Of course. I look forward to playing against you. Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this. You think Ranrock murdered her? Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container. Miriam. If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me? You said this would repair the chasm between the two of you. How did you not expect him to react this way? How else did he expect Goblinkind to get the helmet back? Seems he has no interest in making amends with you. I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Serona's. And you're a third year, so she was just good at casting a spell. No wonder I've never heard of her. How interesting. I'm amazed I've never heard of her. You weren't much of a challenge. Very well. Are you able to tell me anything about the next trial? I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone. Don't think I have. Perhaps your young friend is not as well-travelled as you think. It looks familiar. Perhaps your young friend is more well-travelled than you might think. We did not, Professor. We encountered goblins outside the tower. These pots and cauldrons haven't moved in ages. His search. You and your friend Charles spoke of the port key, and of trials you'd created for one who sees traces of ancient magic. Ranrock is working with Rookwood. I don't think so. Let's go. And this is my mentor, Professor Fig. Before the witch from the last pensive, Isadora, became a Hogwarts professor, she argued with Professor Rackham about using magic to remove pain. I have, Professor Rookwood. I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, and we'll need to bring the book. Believe it or not, it's a room below Hogwarts. I did. And because Jackdaw had followed the map they contained, when I found the pages, I found the location on the map. Considering the bones, I'll assume this is a tomb. You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out? I think that's a fine idea. Information is power. I'm not sure that's such a good idea. The poachers seem a dangerous lot. Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps. How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths? That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something. You may be reading into it. Talking to people isn't a crime. Professor Howard mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the ministry to help. I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her. Trust me, Ominous. I won't say a word. Trust me, Ominous. I won't say a word. Ominous, I just meant... And Sebastian is a good friend. You shouldn't immediately assume the worst of him. Please, I was trying to defend him. He was clear that this was a secret place and I was to tell no one. He's a good friend. You needn't threaten me. I'm not going to say anything about your Undercroft. You needn't threaten me. I'm not going to say anything about your Undercroft. I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing. I certainly hope that's a good thing. Why did the keepers want to keep Isadora quiet? Why destroy her portrait? I don't know. And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam. And yes, it is... As I'm sure you suspect, there is a bit more to all of this. He'll be all right, Sebastian. Nothing gets past you. Hence the name. Why is it off limits? Very well. Let me know when and I'll meet you. He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in. The curse is lifted already. He'll easily find his way out of the catacomb, just as we did. I've taken full responsibility. You have my word. Ominous and I agreed. Surely there's a difference between casting Imperio on someone without their knowledge and casting it with permission. You need the relic. I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore. Ominous and I found a compromise. Sebastian! We're ready. Sebastian! Sir, surely I've proven myself. In light of what's happened, perhaps you should tell me everything now. Just tell me where I need to go. And have broken open some sort of container. Let's get into that castle. Rookwood Castle? Miss Willardsea. Could you remind me what it is that you needed? I'm guessing the egg we have belongs to that dragon. This way! Incendio! This may have been a bad idea. Perhaps that helm will yield some answers. I've seen Thestrals before, but where would I find a pair of them nearby? Nothing this way but more danger. There must be another way to find you. That doorway looks like the only safe way forward. Too many. I must cross this road as fast as I can. A ladder. Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there. Death, I see. A staircase straight ahead. I'd best move while I can. Neve must be here somewhere. This is my chance. I'm coming, Neve. She's all right. She said she was going to rest. All right, Biscuit. Let's get you back to Garnoff, shall we? That's it for the poachers. Now, to find Biscuit. You can have her back. For the right price. I'm glad she's safe now. I'm sure she'll be happy to go home. Biscuit is fine. As am I. I was able to rescue her without much incident. If it weren't for me, I suspect those poachers would have flayed her alive. Let's find out. I wonder... Another pensive. I retrieved a stolen helm that he hopes to return to Ranrock in order to regain his confidence. Poachers! Garniff was right then. I'd better be careful. Surely this changes things. Ranrock has Bragbor's journals and knows where the final repository is. Might I ask you some questions, Serona? But you're friends now. You seemed unfazed by Rookwood and Harlow the other day. They don't scare you. Have you heard what Ranrock and Rookwood are working on together? It is. Understood. We do have a choice. What good will it do to turn him in now? We don't have a choice. You're right. You were right the entire time. Ominous. Sebastian. Sebastian! A journal entry! We should look for more. Sebastian, we need to go. What do I need to do, Deke? Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. Aha! Found you. The white one. It's her. Will I be able to weave even more powerful magic into my clothing with the loom? I can. Why do you think you'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne? Almost there. I need to steal its magic. It's tearing this place apart. This ends here, Ranrock. I have you on the run, but you can't escape. Ha! Don't like that very much, do you? You can't stop me, dragon. You can't run forever, Ranrock. I need to avoid those. How long are you going to keep up this charade? Ranrock, if you can hear me, your end is coming. You can't stop me. You won't get away from me that easily. Where did those come from? How about a taste of your own power? Two can play at this game. Let's see how you like it. We couldn't be happier to see you, Professor Sharp. Your timing couldn't be better, Professor Hecat. I can't believe this is it. The repository has been under the castle for hundreds of years. We made it. Look out! Another troll. This one's worse than the last two. We'll show these beasts who's in charge. You'll never find what Ranrock wants. We can use those against them. I hope you're right. What could be taking the other professors so long to get here? I fear you're right, Professor. There's nothing we can do but keep searching. Professor, that wall. That's the way forward. Another troll. Where are the other professors? You're no match for us. That sounds like trouble. This drill stands between us and him. We need to move it. You will not take what is not yours! You and I have faced worse, Professor. I wonder if Ranrock is here. Were you able to reach Professor Weasley? I should imagine so. I should hope that the enchantments protecting the castle would protect against an incursion from below. Victor Rookwood is dead. He confronted me as I left Ollivander's with the Keeper's wand. I had to defend myself. Sylvanas Selwyn. I should see this through and find the Slytherin house chest. I should see this through and find the Ravenclaw house chest. I should see this through and find the Hufflepuff house chest. I said I'm taking responsibility, Sebastian. Do you want the relic or not? Sebastian! Over here! She mentioned dark magic and the Ashwinders. Has her imagination got the best of her? She mentioned dark magic, and even the Ashwinders. Stop, Sebastian! Hold on! Sebastian! Wait! You went too far, Sebastian. He did attack us. You had no choice. Sebastian! A simple stone. This must be for me. What can I expect to find in the book? I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book. That must be the pedestal. Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle. This isn't what it looks like. I can explain.
Made it just in time. It's wearing off. But the injury, Madam Kogawa. Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it. I assure you, Sharp, you may speak freely. Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf? Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be. Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
I shall. I wonder where I should conjure their pen. I've actually met Scrope, but I'm not sure he'll tell me. He's rather devoted to the Black family. The carvings on the relic were in theory, and Sebastian somehow created them. Solomon threatened to go to the headmaster if he heard of Sebastian dealing with dark magic. And there's no sign of Sebastian. Where was Sebastian when you and Anne found him? Last time we were here, this place was crawling with spiders. He won't listen to reason. You did agree, and it did save your friendship with Sebastian. I received your owl. Where's Sebastian? You were right. I do regret casting Imperio. I hope you can forgive me. It's my fault. I was wrong. I thought he'd stop. Ominous. Surely my win means something. Let's get out of here and tell Lodgok what we've found. Don't think I've found all the plans. I'd best keep looking. We need to be careful. As I'm sure you know, not all goblins are as friendly as Lodgok, to say the least. Keep your wits about you, Amit. I'll get you through this mine. Amit, you'll need to stay close to me. I've dealt with worse enemies than these. I can't do that, Amit. You might need it. Sounds like you're speaking from experience. Hello again, Imelda. Is your challenge still on the table? Hello, sir. What do you sell here? Do you think your uncle would tell anyone at the ministry about all of this if he found out? And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, we could be expelled. We just need to get Anne to the catacomb and work out how to make a dark sacrifice. So we have to get Anne to the catacomb and then conduct a sacrifice. Seems risky. What am I to do, Professor Fitzgerald? Could you remind me how the Daedalian keys work again? Surely you'll be trying to complete the challenge as well. Is everything all right? Why would Professor Mole conjure flying keys? Why would I do that? The what keys? Perhaps I'll give it a go. Hello, Nellie. You seem excited about something. What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium? You're a Hufflepuff too. Always nice to see our house represented well. I've met some interesting students in Hufflepuff. Hard-working lot, I gather. Glad to hear it. What written plans? And why can't you come with us? Nothing more, Professor. Have you and Professor Fig not discussed my training? Yes, sir. I have them here. Hello, Mr. Ollivander. I wondered if you might be able to help me with something. Hello again, Miss Wolf. Hello. Do you have a moment? A phoenix nest? I wonder if it belongs to the phoenix Natty mentioned, the one Harlow and the poacher pack are after. I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine. Yes, of course. Good to see you again. What did you ask me to do with my magical materials? I'll go and experiment with the loom now. A friend who speaks gobbledygook is meeting us. Before he arrives, perhaps you could tell me why we're here. Thank you for being willing to help me, Amit. Have you ever spoken directly to a goblin? You said you know gobbledygook. But how well? Lodgok is waiting. Shall we go? Can't we just bypass Singer and go directly to the ministry? That's all I wanted to know. You seem to be very determined in stopping Rookwood and Harlow. Why? Thank you, but it really wasn't all that challenging. Hello? You wanted to speak to me. Hello, Samantha. Nice to see you again. Rookwood Castle. What do you mean, repositories? Why does Ranrock care so much about these repositories? Bragbor. Here comes my friend Amit. Probably best to continue our conversation later. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help? It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. Hello, Amit. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook? I remember Amit mentioning something about gobbledygook. Hello, Gareth. So, has your aunt been taking it a bit easier on you lately? Perhaps you should have. This is it. Isadora must have honed her skill with ancient magic here. I know from the memories I've seen that the keepers in Isadora didn't see eye to eye on the use of ancient magic. Another ancient magic passageway to the Undercroft. The final piece to the triptych must be here. This place can't have belonged to only Isadora. An entire camp of Rookwood's thieves. I might need assistance. I'll head there now. I do have some questions about Ranrock and the helmet. They seem to be. Wizardkind sees things differently. It's a wonder goblins and wizards have ever been able to work together. What precisely is the relic I'm to retrieve? I'm listening. That's quite generous. Thank you. Thank you. Professor Shah, I'm interested in learning more about astronomy. This journal entry sounds worrisome. More than one. A journal entry. Isadora was here. Getting through the cavern can't have been the only challenge. Perhaps we should search for runes. A staircase leading here. Whatever for? One nudge and that chest might have fallen. I shall wait to hear from you then. Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled. Sirona said our interests may be aligned. Perhaps she was wrong. Sirona trusts me, and she said she thought our interests may be aligned. I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne. Hello, Lucan. I'm ready for practice. I am, and I need to know what he and his loyalists are up to, so I can stay a step ahead. No, actually, I wanted to speak with you. It's about Ranrock. Thank you, Natty. There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage, just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. Thank you, Sirona. In that case, I'd like to talk with him. About Ranrock in particular. Where might I find him? I was surprised that you seemed friendly with a goblin. It seemed as though you were on good terms with him. I am too. You were speaking to a goblin here that day. Happy to be here. It is good to leave the classroom now and then. An enchanted loom. We've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do. Ominous. I learned Imperio. I want you to know, how did you end up at Hogwarts after working for your former master? Would you mind talking a bit more about what it was like working for your former master? Do you have any advice on how I can rescue more elusive beasts? How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? What map? How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? All right, Professor. I'll see you soon. The caverns below Hogwarts where you fought Isadora. Is that the location of the final repository? Now to return to the map chamber, and not a moment too soon. This must be the last artifact. I still have no idea what these are meant for. Thank you, Professor Bakar. I shall see you back in the map chamber. Very well. Professor, you received my owl. Ranrock has the last of Bradbor's journals. He killed Lodgok to get it. He knows where the last repository is. I hope Professor Fig got my owl. I need to tell him and the keepers that Ranrock knows where the last repository is. I'm sorry we can both see Thestrals. I'll explain on the way, come on. Ominous has. Let's go. You can see Thestrals too. Looks like another pensive up ahead. And that appears to be a giant statue of Professor Rackham. Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. This must be the way forward. But to where? Not surprising. Guards at the ready. I need to wake up that rune over there. Where might this lead? I'll go it alone. Yes, Sebastian. Yes, Natty. I'll be dueling solo. Yes, Sebastian. Yes, Natty. It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit. What else is in Mr. Lawley's cellar? Why do you need Mr. Lawley's venomous tentacular in particular? You said Mr. Lawley was your ex-business partner. What were you working on? Is it common practice for students to grow their own ingredients? It was nice to meet you, Samantha. Good luck with your dittany. He did teach me a few things before term, but that's all I can tell you. Professor Fig does know a great deal about, different forms of magic. Actually, Professor Fig told me about Wiggenweld potion. It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest. It was dreadful, certainly, but quite an experience nonetheless. Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives. Let's let bygones be bygones, shall we? You played a good game. Glad to hear it. No wonder Sophronia wanted to see this. I take it we can call that a success. You too, Everett. Wait, did you say most professors are firm but fair? Harrowing indeed. I'm still a bit on edge myself, and a little nervous for classes to start. I'm glad to be here, ready for classes to start. Sebastian, come on! Sebastian, we have to go. What did you need me to do, Deke? That's what I'm saying. I would take all responsibility. This could save your friendship. That's what I'm saying. I would take all responsibility. This could save your friendship. Are you willing to sacrifice your friendship over this? You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more. I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic. Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing? Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death? Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional. Galloping. Your father was also an animagus, I take it. What exactly happened to your father? It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperious Curse. He did, Professor. You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes. Sebastian's right. We need that relic. I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets. Hold on, both of you! Sebastian, please, take a step back. I'm willing to ignore what the journal says. We're taking the relic. What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential? Sophronia, could you remind me what it is you needed help with? The note advises to leave the relic alone. Hold on. Don't give up yet. For a moment there, I thought that'd never end. I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time. How gracious of you. Bit dramatic, isn't it? I'm just here for Summoner's Court. I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster. That's odd. Why would someone store one hat in here? I should let Mr. Weeks know that this was his best upgrade yet. The best upgrade yet. It flew beautifully, incredibly nimble. Might be a bit dangerous for a broom trial. I'll see what I can do. I know. Continue to hone my magic. If you learn more about that scriptorium, let me know. It's not that I'm not interested, and you can certainly trust me if you want to tell me anything. And then we're abandoned. I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished. Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones. There's something here by the altar. Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood Slot? Is Mr. Abe all right? I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be? What did you hope would happen? Spiders aren't insects. I can see why he said that. You do seem angry. That must have been frustrating for you. What uses do magical materials have? Hello there. Was there something you needed? Incredible. Ah, here we are. Where am I supposed to go? Where do I need to be to get all of them to stand at once? Perhaps I need to get them all to stand at once. I need to get the reflections to follow the light. What's happening? Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails? It's probably wise to know the spell. I don't think learning the Imperious Curse is a good idea. Where did you learn the Imperious Curse? Leave no stone unturned. Or, in this case, no bone. We're in a tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory. Opening all of these is tempting. Who are you? Why are we here? Who is this wizard? Now I can conjure a breeding pen in the room. Best get back to Deke with the Thestrals. Mr. Barnes will only get in trouble going down this path. I need to find another way to get him a venomous tentacular. I won't, Professor. Thank you. Should be, Professor. Well, I suppose if looking for Tobbs also allows me to test my enchanted clothing, then I can do it. It wasn't as easy to come by as I had expected. I'd like to be paid for my troubles. Of course. Glad to hand it over, frankly. You mentioned that your paintings were taken. Are you a painter? Some references Sebastian mentioned in the book do worry me. Will all of my beasts produce magical materials? Very well. I shall let you know when I have some. Hello again, Mr. Weeks. I set a new record at the South Course. Hello, Mr. Weeks. Did you still need help with your broom upgrades? You'd like me to report back with even more flight details? Poor Anne and Sebastian. I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened. Hello. I don't believe we've met. Perhaps I'll have to purchase a broom then.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
What does the Cruciatus Curse do? Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus Curse, also known as the Torture Curse, inflicts excruciating pain on the victim. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Serona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you. It was only a training dummy. Thanks, Lucan. You've been a great help. Hello, Lucan. I'm ready for practice. Actually, I might come back later. That'd be brilliant. Hello, Lucan. I'd like to practice with the training dummy. You don't know what you're saying. Take a breath for a moment. A note? Let's have a look. Why hide a triptych here? Worried about you. Are you all right, Mr. Rabe? Daisy told me you'd been abducted. I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best. I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend, Claire Beaumont. Very well, Professor. I'm not entirely sure, but the Keepers have said that it's a powerful magic that should only be wielded by a select few. I have a rare ability to see whispers of ancient magic. There. Can hardly tell a troll barreled through it. Fig and I think that Ranrock has somehow found a way to harness that magic's power. I suppose so. Hello, Grace. What are you doing here? Professor Rookwood, the goblins and dark wizards who've overrun your castle are digging for stores of magic. It looks empty. If they've taken all of it, why are they still here? Very well, sir. I'm on my way. Lodgok did mention that Ranrock is searching for something, but he couldn't say what. He and Ranrock were close once, but they had a falling out. Understood. But why does Ominous have no love lost for his family? Of course, Ominous spoke to me about his family when we first met. To say that he has no love lost for them is an understatement. Sebastian, I seem to be collecting bits of stone when I vanish these objects. I ought to see how Sebastian's faring. Poor Sebastian. Not the visit he'd hoped for. If your sister is unwell, she may not want visitors. Well, it's all a bit convoluted. Professor Fig and I wound up there after the dragon attack. There was this port key. Is that what you were trying to do just there? I'm not sure I'd say that, but I did study with him a little before we arrived. No, I merely studied with him briefly before we arrived. Pleasure to meet you, Cressida. All right. I can see traces of ancient magic. The book I found in the restricted section was missing some pages. That's about it. I have everything. I see what you meant about not being able to pick a favorite shop. I take it you're not afraid of heights? Oh, yes. A friend of Professor Fig's. Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken? Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband? What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret? Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. I hope the next time Rookwood's Lock comes calling, you'll alert the authorities. Another memory. Now to find a way out of here. These are never a welcome sight. At least I know what to expect this time. What have the Keepers planned for me? Impressive. Understood. I'll find it. Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there. Natty must be here somewhere. Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it. Book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back. Are you all right? I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Professor. I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle. I've enough to worry about collecting the ingredients he wants me to get. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know, Gareth. I don't want to get on Sharp's bad side. I should ask Sirona at the Three Broomsticks about the goblin she was talking to the day of the troll attack. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your Polyjuice plan worked like a charm. It is. And I have. The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto.
Clopton, isn't it? Please, call me Phineas from now on. Consider it a special privilege. The Polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight.
If you're sure. Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
Miss Broom, a word.
Hello, Miss Ryan. I wanted to thank you again for your help with Rookwood and Harlow the day of the troll attack. But Professor, I can be sneaky. Let's go. How are you doing, Sebastian? Can't we talk about this? These spiders are determined to make a meal of us. Sebastian, wait! Did you hear that goblin? Wait! We should have some sort of plan. You could have got us killed.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber. I see. But what if Professor Black sees me? Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock. They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is. How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do. I understand. Very well. We'll find some way to get in. Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search. I hope Professor Fitzgerald has confirmed what she needed to. I have to complete the next trial as soon as I can. I was hoping to look around for a moment, if you don't mind. Take it all in. Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are. Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped? Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful. Albeit more than disturbing. What did he ask you to do? What was in the note? I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan. I'll draw her attention. Follow when it's safe. Wait here. I'll run ahead. Yes, just a few more minutes. No, I think I'm ready to leave if you are. I can't believe any of what just happened. Just a few more minutes if that's all right. I believe I am. Thank you for humouring me. Of course. Shall we leave now? The dark arts do pique my interest. Ominous is right. Meddling in the dark arts is dangerous. That's awful. But no matter the circumstance, he should never have cast it. He should have known better. How horrible. Poor Ominous, he was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself. What were you thinking? I don't know. I did see another memory. This time it was a keeper named Neve Fitzgerald. Not everyone does. I wonder why. I understand. You needn't tell me if you don't want to. I'd like to know more about it, if you wouldn't mind telling me. I won't repeat it. I wonder what Archie saw. I hope he didn't see Harlow kill his father. You must miss him. I'm sorry you experienced something like that at so young an age. You did not. Sounds worth looking into. Any idea where in the castle? It's a wonder the Ministry isn't doing more. Whose home was this? Someone piled this here for a reason. Is it blocking something? Sebastian, over here. Archie? Archie Bickle. How should I collect magical materials? I'm afraid it's really up to Sebastian. And his mind seems to be made up. I'll do my best. I can promise to speak with him about it. I promise to tell you everything. But it's perhaps best I do that later. Thank you for this. It's my first time here. I promise to tell you everything. But it's perhaps best I do that later. Thank you for this. It's my first time here. Spend a lot of time in detention, do you? Oh? What's so special about them? I was happy to help. Of course, officer. Did you get what you needed for your sister? Those references in the book seem promising. What will you do with Slytherin's spellbook? We need to tell him. He's the reason we found the book, and he deserves to know what you've learned. I see no reason to involve Ominous. If that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you there. How is it possible to steal from Peeves? A poltergeist? Where did you suggest we meet? I suppose if that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you at the forest. Sebastian, Ominous, there's a book just here. That pain. It was excruciating, but I'll survive. Let's keep moving. I don't want to learn the curse, but I can handle the pain. It's fine. Cast it on me. I want to learn the curse, but I won't cast it on you. You need to cast it on me. I want to learn the curse, and I think it's best if I cast it on you. Wait, you didn't say you knew how to cast Crucio. What do we do now? Ominous is not going to cast the Cruciatus curse again. I do, but not all goblins. You're not a bad chap, for a Slytherin. So, the passage from your ruins to Gringotts, everything in the vault, the restricted section, finding this room, none of these was a trial. I do. I also see why you refer to this room as the map chamber. Perhaps your uncle was right about you. You don't know when to stop. Someone who knows Ranrock personally. They asked me not to mention their name to anyone. A friendly goblin. He wants no part in Ranrock's fight. Imelda Reyes? Albie Week sent me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Charles Rookwood wouldn't have wanted you near it. Our interests will never be aligned. I can see why you didn't want to go. She was quite cantankerous. Nothing to worry about. I handled it. I delivered the potions to Fatima Luang. Seems simple enough. I'll do it. Why do you keep ordering from him if you think the quality to be inferior? Here are the potions you requested. Madame Luang? I have a delivery from J. Pippin's Potions. Very well. I shall let Mr. Pippin know I delivered the potions as requested. Sir, could you remind me about the delivery you needed help with? I'd rather not deal with difficult people, but for a reward, I think I can manage. I'd be happy to help with the delivery. That's what we're trying to find out. The Mallow Suite is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols. Precisely. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section. He was called away by Black at the last moment. I suppose I could wait to get a note from him, but I need to find something for Professor Fig. But it's in the restricted section of the library. Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much. I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section. I'm not sure where to start. I think I've seen Ominous in potions. Or was it herbology? I've noticed that he uses his wand to navigate the castle. I know Ominous. Met him in our common room. I've noticed he uses his wand to navigate the castle. I suppose so. It's all a bit of a blur, to be honest. Well, that's everything. Better go and find Sebastian. Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this portkey. I've never even met him. Perhaps he mistook me for another student. Seems he's working with Ranrock. And Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts. Actually, I don't think I have any questions. I don't have the book with me, sir. To see traces of ancient magic. Yes, sir, I do. I'm the same age that you and Isadora Morganach were when you started at Hogwarts. I appreciate the confidence. Sounds versatile. Another gate. Well said. Now, where do we go from here? I recognize you from the Pensives. You're Professor Rackham. What do you need delivered? Hello, Mr. Pippin. You need help with the delivery? Good. No more egg sacs. Half finished. But I need to destroy all of the egg sacs. That's one egg sac destroyed. I should get the rest. But sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book. The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me. And he would have, had Sirona and the patrons at the Three Broomsticks not intervened. The absconder, Milo. It seems I have no choice. I'm going to have to fight my way out of here. How many of them are there? The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. Thank you, Peeves. Another obstacle in my path. There's that glow again, like the glow on the portkey container. And how is there a room behind it? Is that ice? Leave her alone. Where are we meeting, Sebastian? Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom. Honestly, I'm not entirely certain. All I know is that I can see whispers of an old magic that hardly anyone else can. Get you answers about Slytherin, and Sebastian answers for Anne. Your aunt pursued this alone. We could do it together. You don't know that history will repeat itself. Besides, you said your aunt thought like you. This could honor her memory. I'd like to be able to talk to snakes. I wish all Slytherins could talk to snakes. I don't think you realize the trouble I went to retrieving the watch. Perhaps you can sell it for the girls' supplies. In that case, all right. Here's the heirloom watch. Very well. I shall take a look if I can find the time. Actually, I think she'll be safer with me. What can I customize with the altering spell? How do I use the altering spell? Thank you, Professor. I have no more questions. A journal entry by Isadora. Got her. Now I need to let Miss Moffat know. This is the Diracul Den. But Miss Moffat said Gwynaira only appears at night. That's the one. This must be the Diracul Den that Miss Moffat told me about. Now, where is Gwynaira? Yes. But I'll be expecting payment first. Of course, she was difficult to track down, but I managed in the end. Not too bad, if you know what you're doing. I'll keep an eye out for a large white Diracul. I wonder what came of Arthur's search. Aha! There was a doorway hidden within the portrait. I found what I believe is an authentic historian's uniform. Why would I want to decipher an old map? Following a Hogwarts treasure map. Count me in. Thank you, Professor. I shall keep an eye out. Another passageway. We should search the room first. Do you think this was damaged by the fire the night that Anne was cursed? I've seen this before. In Gringotts and the restricted section. The reservoir of ancient magic. Downstairs, near the entry. How is Everett flying so quickly? Seems you enjoy brewing. Might I assume that you've a talent for potions of all sorts? You must promise to keep this between us. I'll tell you what I can. Rookwood and Ranrock are trying to recover something they think I took from a vault in Gringotts. How did that happen? Thank you, Professor. The room is full of possibilities. This is exactly the type of magic I've been hoping to learn. The blast does heat things up. I see how you lost your eyebrows. I would have paid to see that. You said that you know that tower. What can you tell me about it? Where am I to meet you, Professor? I'll find you at the tower as soon as I can. I need to align these statues with their reflections. I suppose I'm on my own this time. Here goes. Now to align the statues with their reflections. It does follow the light. Now the reflection is turning towards me. Wait. When you moved, the reflection turned in the direction of the light. It is. The reflection's still there, but the statue's positions don't match. I do, Professor. That symbol has the same glow as the one I saw on the portkey container. A door. Revelio. Professor, I don't see any way to get across. Thank you, sir. Why would someone have built this here? Professor, this statue... Professor, it's a mural of some kind. Brilliant. Where are we?
Professor Fig!
What's this? That enchanted crystallized stone again. But what could it be blocking? I've collected some magical materials, Deke. That came out nicely. I should show Deke. I used the enchanted loom, Deke. Can I use the loom to enhance any item of clothing? This isn't good.
Professor, where are you? Professor Fig! Professor?
Sir, those ruins. Do you think...
How far did that portkey take us?
But sir, why was your wife searching for evidence of lost magic?
Ancient magic!
Where do you suppose your wife got the portkey that brought us here? Thank you, Lucan. I shall finish up later. You're right. I'd better see this through. I think that's enough practice for now. Actually, I might come back later. That would be wonderful. Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy? Just let me know when, and I'll meet you. What's this? Some sort of treasure map. And look! Treasure! Perhaps the map contains clues about the order I'm supposed to ring the bells in. That did it! This looks like the spot from the treasure map. This looks like the location from the painting. What could be so special about it?
Enough, Ranrock. It was never yours.
Thank you. I'll get back to collecting materials. Hello, Deke. I have some questions for you. I understand. Leave it to me, Deke. I'll find Hobbs for you. That sounds awful. What do you mean? Yes, sir. How many vaults are there in Gringotts? How concerned should I be about the librarian? What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section? Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later. Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section. Sebastian, there you are. Indeed. I only hope we'll have enough space for all of them. You did not. Is it connected to our common room? I am. Sebastian and I met during a rather lively duel in Defense Against the Dark Arts. I am. Sebastian and I met my first day at Hogwarts, in the Slytherin common room. I think it's to do with my ability to see traces of ancient magic. Nothing gets past you. It was certainly good practice. I received your owl. Thank you. Hello. I don't believe we've met. I can only imagine how his new recipe's going to turn out. I need to get that mechanism out of the way. I wonder what this does. This one appears to be broken. I need to find a way to open that gate. If I could lift this platform, I think I could get it to work. I need to fix the lift before I can use it. We're both fine, and I can keep her safe, I promise. But I wonder if you can help me with the costs of caring for her. We're both fine, and I have a safe place for her at Hogwarts. Madam Bugbrook, I found your unicorn friend, Hazel. Hello again, Mrs. Sprottle. I can certainly try and find some for you. Believe it or not, I have some with me. Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you. Hello, Sirona. You were hoping I'd check on a friend of yours, weren't you? Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you? I'll try to go and see her when I can.
No!
Are you all right? I have some questions about alteration, Professor. I've conjured everything I can. What's next, Professor? I think I can manage from here. Thank you. Can I remove an item I've conjured? There are so many choices. What items do you think I should conjure? Professor, I have some questions about conjuration. I have the moonstone you requested, Professor. I'm ready for the next lesson, Professor. It is a book after all. It sounds as if the Loyalists attacked Anne without cause. It seems an awfully violent response to a child wandering by. What were they trying to hide? Perhaps you're right. The Loyalists are everywhere. But they do seem to be spending a lot of time here. And it's likely they're hiding something. Those Loyalists deserved what they got. I should let Deke know about the newborn Thestral. I've rescued the Thestrals, and bought the spellcraft for the pen. I know he's angry, but he's only trying to do what he thinks is best for Anne.
That's Victor Rookwood.
Professor Weasley called him an unsavory local.
I've seen that goblin before. That's Victor Rookwood.
Professor Weasley called him an unsavory local. I've seen that goblin before. One less thing for Officer Singer to worry about. There, good as new. Lucky they didn't do more damage. And that she isn't intimidated by thugs like Rookwood and Harlow. The others, very well. Aspiration. It hasn't, Professor. I am, Professor. Of course, sir. What's that glow? Yes, sir. I'm starting school as a 5th year. Not at all, sir. Thank you, Professor Fig. I appreciate you working with me before term begins. I have, Professor. Where are we? Fine, sir. Can I see magic? Yes, sir. No, darker. I saw that same glow on the dragon's collar. Professor, your wife's portkey. I'm feeling better, sir, if you'd like to look around a bit. Portkey? Sir, where are we? Professor, what happened? Perhaps a bit. I can see that. She didn't seem at all intimidated by Rookwood and Harlow. Are you all right? That's new. Onwards, I suppose. Actually, I might know of someone. I saw Sirona at the Three Broomsticks speaking to a goblin once. They seemed friendly. I will, sir. I'll see you back in the map chamber. Yes, sir, I do. Hello, Professor Rackham. We've placed the book on the pedestal, as you asked. Evidently, Peeves stole them, and Jackdaw stole them from him. The room is called the map chamber, by the way, and a portrait of Percival Rackham awaits us there.
We meet again, Richard Jackdaw.
What is this place? I need those pages, so I suppose I'd better meet you. Thank you. The pages are why you lost your head, and I must visit a cave and search for your corpse. Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone. It's good to see you, Professor.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Hecat.
I think that's enough practice for now. It leads to the library. The restricted section, to be precise, and a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map. They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it. They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood. Professor, I'm glad to see you. This is goblin metal. Seems out of place in a poacher camp. I should tell Poppy about it. I owe you an apology, Ominous. I wasn't honest with you before about the Undercroft. Sebastian did show it to me. A Diricawl? What's that? Ah, yes, the magical bird. Can disappear when it senses danger. That room's called the Undercroft. Ah, well, I was exploring and suddenly found myself in a strange passageway. This must be the prefect's bathroom. Oh, hello, Ominous. I was just heading to our common room. I'm sorry about your sister. If there's anything I can do, I don't need extra work to become a better flyer. Yes, Professor. I'm afraid not. Why? What is it? That table looks familiar. Seems I'm back at the entrance to the cave. I shouldn't return to Deke without knowing whether or not that body was Tobbs. Never mind. It was just a thought. We need to see what they're doing. I say we take them head on. Let's bury some enemies. A rune symbol. I've seen similar symbols used by the Keepers. I know it sounds strange, but you're not going to believe this. I can see the Undercroft. I heard a goblin refer to wizard kind as wand carriers. Are goblins forbidden from carrying wands? Can you remind me what you needed again? Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted. I brewed an Edorus potion as you asked, Professor. Just who is Astoria Cricket, and what would she want with your frame? I suppose I'll see you in class then. Rookwood? I have the dried billywig stings. Now, back to Gareth. What a relief. Don't like the look of this. How do I get back up there? I'm missing something. I suspect the summoning charm is the answer. More statues. I'll never get used to these floors. I need to get back up there. Perhaps I have to go through the archway again. Seems I ought to explore this archway from both sides. Not making this easy on me. Things appear and disappear depending upon which side of an archway I've accessed. Certain things appear only when I'm on one side of an archway. Was it Accio I used before? These look familiar. That must have done something. Best have a look around. Where can I find the resources I need? I did. What ended up happening to Herodiana Byrne? How did Herodiana Byrne become famous by casting Depulso? Time for you all to clear out. We're crossing that bridge whether you like it or not. It'll take more than this to stop the Lord of the Shore. Didn't anyone ever teach you not to take things that don't belong to you? Poachers. Let's see how the Lord of the Shore feels about his neighborhood being invaded. Enchanted mannequins. What type of shop was this before I bought it? Hello, Natty. How are you? I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade. Appears there's a bit more to do before I can get through that door. What was that? Was this statue pointing the other way before? They did, Professor. I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it. We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more. I'm sorry, Mr. Haggerty. I wish I could say that I had. As a matter of fact, I did. You know, small, furry, pilfering. I followed it to its lair. Professor Fig! Tell me more about what needs to be done, Professor. That's what Professor Rackham meant when he spoke of my needing an ability to interact with beasts. You got all of that from simply standing here. Are you sure Katrin is the culprit? It could be anyone. Why would Katrin come back to rob the hamlet if she'd already left? What exactly was the family heirloom that the thief stole? Oh, yes, she mentioned it to me. It contained some of her late husband's belongings. Are you holding your breath again. Sounds like a good idea. I'd say that I agree with you. Where on earth is this leading me? Glad to have got something after defeating those in theory. Eureka! That's odd. The markings are different on the map. The 9 rocks on the map. Let's hope you stay dead this time. In theory. What are they protecting? Success. 1 down, 2 to go. Brilliant. The first piece of the puzzle. Must be something around here I can climb on. Why is this door locked? This looks like the entrance indicated on the map. Might be interesting to see where this leads. Hello, Mrs. Bugbrook. What was it you needed help with? How did you become so close with the unicorn? I'll keep an eye out for your unicorn friend and take her to safety if I see her. I'm sorry to hear that. Hazel, is everything all right? Surely the safety of Cragcroft is worth more. I'd hate for the Ashwinders to know who offered a bounty on Selwyn. I'm glad I could help protect Cragcroft and the Ashwinders.
Whoa! It's incredible, isn't it?
Actually, sir, the thief was a Niffler. I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. I can try and find some for you if I have the time. How magnanimous. Hello, is there something I can help you with?
Flying tips and a jaunt around Hogwarts. This is quite the tour, Everett.
I need to bring this heirloom back to Mr. Adley. Now that's taken care of. I need to find the heirloom for Milo's daughter. This could be the Acromantula cave Mr. Adley mentioned. Now, where could that Acromantula cave be? This is quite difficult to retrieve. Shouldn't I get a reward for my trouble? I'm glad Milo's daughter will have something to remember him by. Mr. Adley, I retrieved the heirloom pocket watch from Milo's body. Could you please remind me what you needed help with? If I have time, I can try to collect the heirloom watch, Mr. Adley. Sounds like Milo knew exactly what he was in for, and risked your life as well. I'm very sorry to hear about your friend. Is there something I can help you with? Mister, that looks like a different room through the archway. That statue. It looks like the symbol I've been seeing. Yes, sir, I'm fine. When I moved towards the glow, it suddenly seemed as if the ground was swirling about. I see something up ahead. What do you suppose we should be looking for? This must be what all the fuss was about. Perfect. Let's see what we've got. I have some good news, Mr. Haggerty. I unmasked your thief. Mr. Haggerty, can you remind me what we spoke about? I could keep an eye out for the thief, sir. Pardon me, sir. It seems happy to come with me. I wonder if it could travel in the knapsack. It rides well. Does get a tad shaky at top speed, and the handle wobbles a bit when I hit a strong gust of wind. If it means another upgrade, the pleasure's all mine. Sounds as if you're really outdoing yourself. If I'm able to help, I will. That's it. I'm making good progress with these tokens. This Daedalian Keys challenge is coming along nicely. Another house token for the house chest. Well, look at that. Thanks goes to the former headmistress, Eupraxia Mole. Seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it. I should see this through and find the Gryffindor house chest. An old coin. Perhaps Nellie knows what it means. That's it. Well, that didn't work. Here we go. The last house token. Time to see what's inside. This must be my house chest. I just need to insert the token. A Daedalian key. Wonder where it might lead me. A curious token of some sort. Hello, Nellie. I managed to get a Daedalian key into its lock. There's the cabinet. How do I get this key in there? Well, that's everything. Better go and find Natty. Hello, sir. I don't believe we've met. Someone was an avid reader. Can't say I'm familiar with many of these titles. I wonder who this is. Seems whoever enchanted those brooms was more concerned with cleanliness than with cooking. Wait, is that the hippogriff from my treasure map? I couldn't have done it without your help, Deke. Thank you. Should have expected company. There we go. This can't be it. Must be a way through. Where in Merlin's name am I? Certainly looks to be the place. The location marked on the map isn't far from here.
I know a way out.
I don't know. But I found this, floating above that basin. How deep are we going? A little turbulent and it's wanting for a bit of speed, but it fared well enough. Professor Sharp's class. Yes, that's it. I should tell Madame Twiddle about what happened. I think there should only be a few more vases. I suppose I should try to find all the vases. Why are there so many vases around here? This looks like the statue Madame Twiddle mentioned. I should look into the statue Madame Twiddle mentioned. Yes, I had to destroy a number of large vases, and that seemed to activate some sort of charm on the statue. I can see why Feldcroft needs help. I need to deliver Chinese chumping cabbages to Bernard Indiaye here in Feldcroft. Could you not grow or buy more Chinese chumping cabbages? Why would the goblins target Feldcroft? The name makes sense now. And the secrecy.
I know. I was only joking. It's all yours. If you really wanted this, then perhaps you should have fetched it yourself. I quite like the idea of an authentic Mermish artifact. I'm tempted to keep it myself.
A map. I wonder where it leads. A map. It doesn't appear to be connected to the missing pages. Best hang on to it for now. Another successful flight. I should let Mr. Weeks know. Off to the races then.
How is it that I can help you with your next broom upgrade? Well, I'd better go and rescue it then, hadn't I?
Sounds a bit dangerous. I'd rather not risk running into poachers again.
I'm not thrilled at the prospect, but I'll consider it.
I see. And what do I need to do?
I don't know, Deke. Sounds a lot of work. Can't I just carry on rescuing beasts?
That sounds a very good idea.
Any plan you had to train that thing was doomed. He tried to kill me the entire time. Nice to meet you too, Madam Twiddle.
Very well, sir. I shall keep an eye out for 2 crates of Chinese chomping cabbages. Then I'm glad we helped to foster some healthy diplomatic relations. Your gift from the merpeople was exactly where they said it would be. What is it about the merpeople that interests you so much?
Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like. What do you imagine a liaison to the merpeople would do? How has wizardkind fallen short in its treatment of merpeople? I'm not sure this is a worthwhile endeavour. Do the merpeople even want to be liaised with? I'm impressed. I think reaching out to the merpeople is a grand idea. You're a liaison to the merpeople. Going for a swim.
Now for the rest of you. Nerida will be happy about this. What do we have in here then? Now then, I'll need you to come with me. Look at this place. Did the merpeople really leave Nerida an artifact? I think this might be where I dived to reach the merpeople. I suspect Mr. Weeks will be glad to hear how I fared. A time trial at the Quidditch pitch. Sounds intriguing.
I'm excited to hear more. Mr. Weeks, what did you need from me?
Sebastian, look, how many of you are there? Has Renrock's lot ever attacked you like this before? I hope the Ashwinders haven't done anything with Rococo. More Ashwinders. That hideaway does sound intriguing. Perhaps I should investigate, for Rococo's sake. What a dreadful lot. Best get back to Miss Coffee. Never realized how tiring it can be to capture a Niffler. I hope Miss Coffee appreciates this. Ashwinders, I might as well grab the Niffler. I'm here now. When I get my hands on that Niffler. This Niffler is a tricky one. That's the end of them. Now, I can focus on finding Rococo. This must be the castle where Miss Coffee's Niffler ran away. Now, to find a way inside.
Selwyn has been taken care of.
If I can just get to him, I should be able to disband the group. This must be the castle that Sylvanus Selwyn and his thieves are in. What did you need help with again?
I could take care of Selwyn for you.
Is everything all right, madam? Oh, I see. Thank you anyway.
Oh, give it a chance. You might grow to like it.
It's no 3 broomsticks, that's for certain.
Goodbye, Ferdinand. Enjoy your new home.
Tempting as a bonfire sounds, I think I'll spare you that fate. What if I don't want to return you to the 3 broomsticks? You really ought not have said that.
May I ask where you put him? Ferdinand Pratt thinks you should be. Says you stole his frame. What do you mean you do important work for the headmaster? Did that really happen, or are you simply being overdramatic?
Oh dear, that sounds awful.
I'm ready to learn how to use the knapsack.
It actually was a spot of trouble. You never mentioned I might encounter a troll. I think you should pay me more. Of course. Happy to have found them for you. I should let Grace know that I found her family astrolabe. This must be where the Pinch-Smedley family astrolabe is. That should do it. I'd better get back to Saccharissa now. This is where Saccharissa said to go. Now, where are those booba-tubers? Saccharissa, I found the booba-tubers you needed. Just saying hello. It was nice to meet you. You must have some experience battling evil forces in the world. What was it like being an Aura? You sound like someone who's seen their share of the outside world. Helen Thistlewood, wasn't it? Hello. You never wanted to get out and explore the world around you. Do you stay close to home because it's safe in the hamlet? Hello again, Mr. Thistlewood.
Fig is an interesting wizard, to be sure. I imagine he could tell some stories.
Suppose I should look for that secret hall Sophronia told me about. It does sound interesting. I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Just one left. That wasn't too hard. I wonder what's next. And this must be the last piece of Herodiana's ensemble. It is remarkable. Well, here it is. The Hall of Herodiana. Better go inside and find those puzzles. This must be the entrance to the Hall of Herodiana. You were right about how spectacular it is. Which is why it's a pity you didn't find it yourself. Of course. But not for free. That wasn't easy. Of course.
Behold, Sophronia, I solved all the puzzles in the Hall of Herodiana. If you tell me where to go, I'll see what I can do about it. Can I help you? Could the phoenix be in there? Perhaps one of these guards has the key. Now that I have the venomous tentacula, I should return to Mr. Barnes. So many spiders. It's a wonder they haven't taken over the whole house. Ugh. Where is that venomous tentacula? Better not let Mr. Lawley see me. This must be it. Seems I need to find Mr. Lawley's cellar. Have you ever had a pet, Arthur? Remarkable. Do you really think you should have been in Ravenclaw? Yes, Professor? I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade. Are you sure everything is all right with your uncle? Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more. Finders keepers, Grace. I'm so sorry. What happened to them? Perhaps... What precisely do you need to retrieve, and why? What do you need help retrieving? Thank you, Adelaide. Be seeing you. If you don't mind, I'd prefer to just forget about it. That one is true. Not the typical start to a new school. Wait here! I'll run ahead to the next safe spot. I'll say. I nearly went deaf. Nice to meet you too. Is everything all right? Nice meeting you, Arthur. And good luck finding that cat. It was nice meeting you, Lenora. Well, it is an unusual situation. How did your brother end up like this? I'm sorry. How exactly has he been cursed? I did find it. However, I've taken a liking to it, so I'm going to keep it. I don't want to fly right now. Perhaps later. I presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? Can't imagine the goblins know about the trials. They know that something is significant about this place, though. It's more than mere coincidence that we encountered Ranrock's loyalists here. Can't we apparate past them into the tower? Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg. That was for Highwing. There it is again. The crap horn is somehow the key to opening the room. This must be the place. Very well. Lord of the Shore, show yourself. Have you ever subdued a Graphorn, Professor? If that's what must be done, I'll do it. That's her head. I can't say that I do. It looks like a Graphorn. These vines are as dry as kindling. I'm really not worried. I'm sure I'll be fine. I am a bit concerned. I have a lot of catching up to do. Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones? Enjoying the view? Is that your owl? I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm quite all right as I am. Why not, I say? What sort of change? Hello. An affinity for herbology is more typical of a Hufflepuff than a Ravenclaw, isn't it? Nice to meet you, Samantha. Is Dittany used in Wiggenweld potion? I'm afraid I'm not much for memorizing constellations. Enough to worry about on the ground. I hope astronomy's on my schedule. It sounds interesting. Was that a golden snitch? What was that? Oh, what's this? Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you had an idea. No one at school's going to believe this. Can't say I recommend it, frankly. It's nice to meet you, Amit. I take it you like astronomy. Golden gobstones. I found the pages and the map chamber. Why would I need the book? I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you her worries outweigh yours. Is this something we should be learning in school? I will, Professor. What exactly is an astrolabe? That's really not funny. I did. But it wasn't easy. I shall need to be compensated. I did. I hope it makes your father happy. Hello, Grace. I followed your bearings on a dive in the Black Lake. Grace, what is it you needed my help with? You seem to think I might have heard of the Bath Pinch Smedleys. Why would I know of your family? It sounds dangerous, especially for something of mere sentimental value. I'm afraid I'm not keen on mucking about at the bottom of lakes. Diving into the lake sounds like an adventure. Tell me more. Hello? Can I help you? We meet again, Richard Jackdaw. Thank you for keeping these pages safe all these years. Ominous, I hadn't imagined we'd end up trapped like this. No, I'm not. Sir Nicholas said you might know the location of some pages I'm looking for. Good, Kneazle. There you go. An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. Not a headless skeleton in sight. But I may as well help myself to this. I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be? Are there any other beasts nearby? All right, where would I find one? Hurry! Actually, he's taken a liking to me, so I've decided to keep him. Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacula. Mr. Barnes, about that venomous tentacula you wanted me to get. I'm not sure this is something a student should be doing on your behalf. I'll get the venomous tentacula for you. Sir, is everything all right? It wasn't easy battling Ashwinders and finding a Niffler in that house. I've earned a reward. Hello again, Mr. Ndai. How do you and Eddie know each other? I'll return with the cabbages as soon as I can. Do you have any idea why the goblins are attacking Feldcroft? Not yet, I'm afraid. Hello, Mr. Ndai. Eddie Thistlewood sent me. I have them right here. You sound as if you could use some help. Helen mentioned Apollonia Black. Did she set up Anne to take the fall? If you don't mind my asking, how did you lose your head? Thank you for the warning. You said you know what to do. Thank you, I will. Perhaps it was your dealings with Fwoopers that led to the precarious idea of stocking diricals. Sounds like stocking your shelves comes with some hazards. Seems like a poor choice of inventory. Surely that's obvious. I can imagine that would be rather frustrating. Hello. Mrs. Twiddle, your husband was right. The statue was part of a puzzle. Can you tell me again about the puzzle that you found? If I happen to see it, I'll have a look. I'm afraid I don't find puzzles that engaging. An archaic puzzle? Sounds fascinating. Excuse me, madam. I thought I heard you say something. Garnath! I've rescued Biscuit. Garnath, remind me again about your mooncalf, Biscuit. Why do you suppose the poachers took Biscuit? I'll keep an eye out for your mooncalf, Garnath. Hello? Is something the matter? That's good news. He seems very nice. It all seems clear to me now that we're here. Someone died here. Hello? Whisperer? Vanquisher? Slayer? I suppose a picnic in the Forbidden Forest could seem romantic to some. Enchanted candles. Wonder where they're heading. I retrieved the helmet from the Ashwinders. It seems Ranrock and Rookwood are conspiring. Why would that be? Seems to be some sort of map. Is someone down there? I suppose not. Perhaps. But we did get in trouble, and Kogawa could hold it against us. It was worth losing a few house points for that detour. Pardon me, sir. Professor Weasley sent me to collect some recipes. I'm new at Hogwarts. I'm back at Hogwarts? Where am I? I can only hope this magic protects me until I'm able to make my way out of here. That must be the way out of here. I've seen this before. In Gringotts and the restricted section. What? That's unnerving. What's happening? I should collect what I came for and be on my way. May as well have a look around before I collect the pages. There's Jackdaw, looking dead as ever. What happened here? Might it happen again? I must be getting closer to Jackdaw's remains. And those pages. There it is. The bridge. It's almost complete. Farewell, monster. I can only imagine how these spiders have multiplied since Jackdaw came this way. More spiders! These can't be what beheaded Richard Jackdaw. I'm not going to touch those. Ugh. Whew, it's a good thing Jackdaw didn't fall down there. Oh no. The room's starting to flood. We meet again, Richard Jackdaw. Shame. Those splinters must be what's left of Ollivander's wand. At least I can take the pages. I shall go and find a mooncalf then. Not at all. I need to speak to Richard Jackdaw. Sir Patrick said his head might be around here somewhere. There must be another rune somewhere around here. Another puzzle. Well, if Jackdaw could solve this, so can I. If I could summon that platform to me, I could likely get on it. That platform ought to be able to float straight to me. I wonder if I can move that platform somehow. I'd say the summoning charm would come in handy right about now. That's odd. I'd have thought Jackdaw would have been interested in this loot. But there's no sign of him. I wonder if any of my spells will help me through this. Someone didn't want casual visitors down here. Impressive. That must be where this all leads. That didn't stay glowing for long. And the door didn't open. That one's gone dark. This will take more than one. I think I'll need to light all of these. It appears that one glowing rune alone is not going to solve this puzzle. I suppose I should do this a bit quicker. The runes go dark if I wait too long. I need to hurry things up. The runes have reset. I think I see. I'll need to cast more quickly. Locked. Damn. These runes must have something to do with opening this door. I wonder how big this place is. There it is. Just as Jackdaw described. I should follow the treasure to find that Niffler. These coins must have come from Miss Coffee's Niffler. Treasure. That Niffler's certainly leaving quite a trail. More treasure. Rococo must have been through here. I'm sure he'll be happy to go home. Miss Coffee! I found your Niffler. Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the seeds Professor Weasley arranged for me to collect. I thought the rotten roast beef was for you. Very well. I'd like to meet Sir Patrick myself and see this headless hunt. Headless activities? Brilliant. This is rather fun. Oh, made it. Did anyone else see that? This is all rather cryptic, Sir Nicholas. What's going on? It was nice to meet you. Thank you for the beef. Sir Nicholas? You were looking for me? Nice to meet you, Sir Nicholas. Wait. How do you know about the book? and that it's missing pages. Why don't you just get Rococo back yourself? Why did Henrietta feel the need to protect her house like she did? What did you need me to help you with, Miss Coffee? I'll keep an eye out for Rococo. I shouldn't worry about it, it's only a niffler. I'm sorry to hear that your pet is missing. Hello, Miss Coffee. How are you? That's certainly something to aspire to, Mr. Brown. I look forward to that day. I'm afraid I haven't yet, sir. Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the spellcrafts Professor Weasley ordered. Miss Moffat, I caught Gwynaira. Pardon? Were you calling to me? I hear them. Hello again, Mr. Moon. Nice to meet you, Ominous. I think I'd better rest for a bit. I'll give it another go. I gave it my all. I'm glad to hear it. Before you go, would I still be able to find the pages with the map Helen mentioned? She was imprisoned in Azkaban for your murder. Why didn't you exonerate her? She was imprisoned in Azkaban for your murder. I fear the Dementors have taken an irreversible toll on her. A retired Auror, Helen Thistlewood, told me about a map you stole from Peeves, and then Anne told me about a cave. There they are, the Ashwinders. If I retrieve the relic, how do I know you'll tell me the truth about what Ranrock says? Very well. I'll retrieve the relic if you promise to share Ranrock's plans with me. This must be the place Anne told me about. Very well, let's go. Very well, I'm listening. But Madame Thistlewood, all right, I'll find it. I'll find Jackdaw's cave. A vault in some ruins near Upper Hogsfield. I suppose it can't hurt to look. What are you trying to say? That the missing pages are in a cave near Upper Hogsfield? Are you saying that the missing pages are in a cave near Upper Hogsfield? I'm a student from Hogwarts. Seek? Birds aren't afraid of heights. Perhaps I should look a bit higher. I recognize those handles. The summoning charm should do the trick. A jackdaw. Just as Mr. Ollivander said. Seen better days, I fear. I've always wanted to see Azkaban. Count me in. I'd rather not go to Azkaban. Is there no other way to help? What a horrible story. Well, if you think I can help, I'll come with you. That sounds terrible. But I'm not sure how I can help. I shall go and see her right away. I think I can guess how you died, but who did it to you? Surely you could continue searching the owlery. Richard Jackdaw. I don't know, Mr. Ollivander. Perhaps Professor Fig overestimates my abilities. How did you know that I'd found a book, and that it's missing pages? I'm sorry to hear that. But how do you benefit if I find the pages? What's this all about? Your notes mentioned the book I found in the restricted section. I'm not so sure about this. I don't need the headmaster upset with me. Happy to help, especially if you can shed light on the book. Actually, I've already rescued one. Do you know who is behind the Demiguise statues? Why can't you get the Demiguise moons yourself? What potions do I have? This isn't going well. Perhaps a potion would help. This is starting to hurt. Care to try me? Come on then. Don't take it so badly. You call that dueling? I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it? It certainly takes a lot of courage to try. I'll give you that. I'm inclined to agree with them. Trolls are dangerous creatures. Perhaps later. Yes, don't count me out yet. Brilliant. Count me in. Good, I've got this. That wasn't too bad. I wonder what that does. Why would I do this? Seems all risk and no reward. The faculty tower. I'm not sure I should be going in there. I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon. A Demiguise. I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts. What sort of things do you sell? How did you come to live here in Cambridge? Would you mind telling me a little about Cambridge? Just having a look around, if that's all right. I'd like to ask you a few things, if you don't mind. Nice to see you again. Hello. Nice to meet you. What a view! Now that's more like it. I suppose you could call it eventful. I certainly wasn't expecting a troll attack. Hello, Gareth. What exactly did you want me to do again? Hello, Lodgok. Serona said I might find you here. There wasn't much you could have done. He was beyond training. Tried to kill me the entire time. Conjuring? That wasn't so difficult after all. Now, to find that book. I know just the spell to repair this armor. Why me? That did it. Yes, well, I thought it was odd too. But then we took the roast beef to Sir Podmore of the Headless Hunt and to a cave under the lake. And that's where I found Richard Jackdaw's ghost. Yes, which led me to a secret hideout where I found Richard Jackdaw's ghost. Quite an experience, but you see, Anne knew Richard Jackdaw before he died. So I had to find his ghost. Perhaps later. I have other things to do. Yes, I thought it was odd too. He asked me to meet him and then told me to take the toast. And so I went to the owlery, like he said. And there are all these statues. Yes, she used to be an Aura. Well, she took me to Azkaban to meet Aunt Thisbe.
Oh no, Deke was right. We need to save you from these barbarians. I hope Natty's having an easier time of it. So much for my efforts at concealment. Not the safest place to sneak into. I hope Natty stays out of trouble. That looks as if it might raise the gate. Dead end. Must be another way in. Well, that didn't work. Perhaps something with a bit more force. It's all right. There we go. On. About your carts.
Yes, sir.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide. I'm flattered, but I don't deserve such an honour. Thank you. It's been an honour.
Leander, there's no easy way to say this. Well, actually, there is. You're not cut out for it. Chin up, Leander. Keep practicing and you'll get better. What exactly were you training the troll to do? Who's Barnabas the Barmy? Concerning your troll, what do you mean your own troll?
This looks a bit dangerous. I'm trapped. How am I supposed to get out of here? A lift? Must be how I get down. Looks broken, though. Down to the water's edge. This had better not be a trick. Tell me more about this treasured ring.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Could this be Mr. Oakes's campsite?
He did. We were talking about our house founder and he mentioned it. Wouldn't say much more, though. He did. We were talking about Hogwarts founders and he mentioned it. Wouldn't say much more, though. That was nothing. I'm just getting started.
It was mostly luck, that's all. I'm just pleased to have done as well as I did.
No, I don't think so.
Not right now.
Yes, I'm ready now.
I'm not quite ready yet.
I certainly am.
Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of crossed wands ready? Hello, Lucan. Is the final round of crossed wands ready? Not at the moment.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set? That was quite something. On, I have good news. Your carts are on their way back. An encampment. This must be it. Professor, I'd like to play a game of Summoner's Court. Hello, Charlotte. Let's play Summoner's Court. Hello, Grace. Let's play Summoner's Court.
Samantha, about Summoner's Court. I'm not lucky. I'm simply better than you. Come now, Leander. There's no need for that. Pardon me. Is everything all right? Well, that wasn't ideal. Not quite. There we go. Excellent. That's how you do it. Very nice.
I feel awful for Alexandra, but the hamlet needed to be saved from that troll.
It's done, Alexandra. I took care of him.
I take it you're Alexandra's friend?
Is everything all right? Do you and the other house elves conjure the food served in the Great Hall?
Undermining the headmaster and getting something in return. Continue. Of course, Mr. Ollivander. Sounds most up my street. Aha. There's bound to be something up there.
Let's play Summoner's Court.
Thank you. I need to find those pages. To help a friend.
Goblins and wizard kind will never trust each other.
Pity goblins and wizards can't get along. Perhaps Sir Afpuddle is upstairs.
Sir, why do I need to complete these tasks again?
Madam Thistlewood, I met your great-uncle in his portrait in my common room. He sent me to speak to you.
How do you know about the book? And the pages? This could be right up my street. Even we Hufflepuffs enjoy a good mystery. I'll do whatever I can. You wanted to see me, sir? Not my best. That's it!
Empty perches. Could be the right size for jackdaws. Or statues of jackdaws. Don't mind me, owls. I'm here to help a friend. Now, where are those statues? The statues Mr. Ollivander mentioned must be upstairs amongst the owls.
I suppose I could. But why should I spend my time on a glorified errand?
Well, that wasn't too hard. Evangeline should be pleased about this, even if Black isn't. I'll have to get those up there somehow. Wingardium Leviosa, perhaps. One up, one to go. The bells must be upstairs. I don't think I can get to that note. I'll have to bring it to me. I need to retrieve that note. I need to get that note down. Another note?
Are you asking me to steal from a shop? Couldn't you have someone buy the dried billywig stings?
Ah, there's a disgusting smell. Oh, I must be getting close.
Pardon me, but couldn't you point me to the rubbish?
Here's a welcome treat.
Delicious. Here's some beef. But it's not rotten. I'd best keep looking.
It smells glorious in here.
There's nothing like a meal prepared by a house elf. I've gained a new appreciation for breakfast. Who knew all of this was going on right beneath our feet? Hello, can you point me in the direction of the rubbish? Getting them was more work than I expected. I'd like to be paid for my time. Happy to help. Here you go.
Hello, Gareth.
I have those dried billywig stings.
I wonder if Adelaide's uncle could be down there. What's down there? I'll see what I can do, Gareth.
Where do you find the time for this and your homework? You and your concoctions. I don't know how you come up with these things. Of course. You never know when you might need a quick means of escape from the castle. I don't know, Gareth. Secret passage to a cellar? Sounds like it's off limits. Sounds simple enough. And who wouldn't want to go to Honeydukes? I found the missing pages. I received a flurry of messages from Professor Black's house elf Scrope. Your friend, Mr. Ollivander, sent me an owl asking for help finding an heirloom wand that was stolen from him. Eldritch Diggory's portrait in the common room told me about his great niece, Helen. He was a student here long ago. Anyway, he told me about a secret cavern. I went there, and right next to Jackdaw's skeleton... Yes, and then I had to find Richard Jackdaw's head in the pumpkin so that he'd tell me how he died. Nearly headless Nick asked me to get some rotten roast beef from the kitchens. Listen, Professor. So much happened while you were away. You're back. Are there any restrictions as to what you can make here? Is it all right for students to wander into the kitchens? Do most students know how to cast non-verbally? Stupefy ought to make quick work of these pumpkins. What were you and Ominous speaking about? Neither do I, but he made a charming first impression. I'll have to take your word for it, but that does sound disastrous. That's a powerful enchantment. Whatever it was, it made very little sense. I'm glad that Professor Weasley arranged for this visit to Hogsmeade. This is a change of pace from our last outing. I seem to have a knack for dueling. I'm flattered to hear that. Sebastian's not a bad duelist either. Not at all. Finky sends her regards, along with the rotten roast beef. Sounds lovely. But what I really need is this rotten roast beef. Thank you, Professor. But looking after plants isn't all that thrilling to me. What are we meant to be doing? I attended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor. Yes, Professor. Trust me, Leander. I was imagining it the entire time. Just because those cabbages will chomp on a dummy doesn't mean they do the same on, say, a goblin. I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage. Oh, that's nice to hear. I've had my share of adventure. I hope my reputation's warranted. Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid? Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin? Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you. I'll see what I can do, but I'm fairly busy. I can't promise anything. It's definitely intriguing. I'd like to help you solve this mystery. Well, if I'm going to make my mark here, I had to start right away. I'd much rather have arrived on time and without a dragon attack en route. Well, you took the fall for me. And that counts for something. It's a tad hot. Very well. A proper magical education ought to include all magic. It sounds like a dangerous spell. Really? Like what? How did you find this place? Didn't she stop that dragon skull from crushing you? Oh, well, thank you. Excuse me? We're not finished yet! It is true, but we handled it very well. I'm sorry. What do I need to do? Well, I don't know about meticulous, but I did as I was asked. I'd imagine most students have never seen a dragon. Have you? Please tell me you recognize the location in this bit of canvas. It has to fit. Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around. Sebastian, I think I found something. A canvas piece. Don't know why Gryffindors get credit for bravery. We Slytherins are teeming with it. We have another fight on our hands. Professor Hecat would be proud. It's no wonder spiders give people goosebumps. Too many. They definitely think there's something here they want. I don't see any goblins in these webs. Not at all. I'm choosing to see it all as one big adventure. This mine looks like a tomb. Perhaps we can find an alternate route up ahead. Once again, we could fight our way through, or be discreet. Thank you, Professor. Fun is a relative term. How nice. Nothing I haven't seen before. We make a good team. There they are, up ahead. We need to see what they're doing, but let's not draw their attention. I came as soon as I could. Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock. That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here. Hello. Mr. Weeks, is it? A new wand. You said disrupted trade routes caused you to close Spintwitches. You know him better than I do. Noctua references painful and arduous challenges, but also rewards. I'm glad I avoided trouble. Sharp certainly seemed upset with you. It did sound like fun. I shouldn't have been so concerned with getting in trouble. Very well. I'll bring you a Fwooper feather. It worked! Ominous, you possess a rare ability indeed. Yes, Dittany seeds, some spellcrafts, and some potion recipes. I officially have all of my supplies. After you, Professor. Please, Ominous. I confided in you before about what happened with the Undercroft. I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont. He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted. I'm afraid he's joined the Ashwinders, and has no interest in returning. I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him. Madame Beaumont, I do have some news of your brother. Madame Beaumont? I believe I have some news of your brother. Past the river, near the forest. I must be on the right track. I'll let you know if I see or hear anything about him. Mrs. Sprottle told me a little about your brother's disappearance. Madame Beaumont? Any news regarding your brother Bardolph? Madame Beaumont, might I speak with you? Strictly speaking, it has. We were caught. I can certainly look out for him. Excuse me, Mrs. Sprottle. Any news on Bardolph Beaumont's disappearance? Excuse me, did you say something about a Bardolph Beaumont? It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed. Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps. Why don't you simply leave the area for now? You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where precisely? I am unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something. How did your brother Bardolph end up in St. Mungo's? Has the situation with Ranrock's loyalists improved? I couldn't help it overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists? Ominous. A skeleton. And Noctua's last journal entry. She mentions being trapped here, blocked by an unforgivable curse. Do you have a lot of time to fly during school? Ominous. Your aunt wanted to change your family's traditions. This journal entry, it mentions getting lost and being unwelcome. We're making progress. Another dial solved. Matching the symbols did open it. The dial requires focus. A journal entry. Signed by Noctua Gaunt. Perhaps I should have a chat with Ominous. Are you a keen Wizard Chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match. What book were you reading? It was nice meeting you, Sebastian. I'll let you get back to your book. He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride. Are potions really that versatile? The key. Here it is. This must be locked from the other side. Goodbye, Imelda. Yes? Finders keepers, I'm afraid. I'm only teasing. Of course you can have them. Common sense and basic magic. That's a horrible idea. No one wants to get that awful stench all over them again. I'm sure they'd be willing to play after the trouble spent getting them back. It's a fine idea. I'm afraid I've decided to keep them. That'll teach you to stink up your classmates. Of course. They are yours after all. Hello, Zenobia. I've found all of your gobstones. Everyone hates you. Why? Sounds as if you caused a smelly situation and they responded accordingly. Rather an overreaction on their part. Hello, Zenobia. What did you need help with? Do you have any suggestions on how to get your gobstones down from their hiding spots? I'll see what I can do. I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors. Gobstones? Sounds like a fun challenge. I'm sorry the other students weren't more friendly. Are you all right? We handled it. And I think you're underestimating the nature of a dragon. A broom would have been kindling. Perhaps Professor Fig's friend would have survived if we'd had your help. Thank you. Deke, what am I meant to be doing again? I've already rescued one, actually. Do you have another beast in mind for today? Thank you. Then I shall go and rescue a Jobberknoll. What if I can't find any beasts in their usual habitat? What am I meant to be doing now, Deke? Hello, Deke. Can you remind me how to use the knapsack? There's the fountain. I'm getting closer. A rhinoceros skeleton. I'm on the right track. This looks like the portrait from the map. Now, where's the treasure? Good news, Mr. Weeks. With your upgrade, I was able to set a new record at the Irondale course. Mr. Weeks, I was able to set a record on my broom. The hidden herbology corridor? I'm sorry, but you have to admit that's rather clever. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Words can be cruel. They're adorable. Why would you be afraid of a puffskein? I suppose it must seem that way. I'm not sure it's justified. It's often been a matter of circumstance. Thank you, Mr. Hill. That's very generous of you. That's very kind of you, Mr. Hill. But I can't accept robes that I didn't pay for. It seems as if that might come in handy. Found them. I imagine the bells are just inside the bell tower. Somewhere away from prying eyes. Professor Weasley? I'm doing you a favor. Disappointment like this will encourage you to become a stronger person. Only teasing. We had an arrangement. Surely you're joking. You can't possibly be afraid of a puffskein. Oh, they seem innocent, but their tongues can be most disturbing. How does crossed wands work exactly? Hello, Lucan. I wanted to talk to you about crossed wands. Perhaps later. Get me in the ring. Don't really see the value in organized dueling. Senseless fighting, in my opinion. Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime. Sebastian told me to see you about a club. I suppose I could help if I have the time. That sounds a rather complicated way to simply avoid carrying your books. That sounds brilliant, actually. That's the last book. Now to take them back to Cressida. Got it. Only 4 more to go. I'm going to have to use Accio to get to those books. Seems the Devil's Snare was protecting a chest of some kind. Devil's Snare seems to thrive in darkness. Perhaps it doesn't care for light. This must be the entrance to the hidden herbology corridor. These dry vines are 1 spark away from becoming kindling. Professor Sharp was annoyed, but we sorted it out. No harm. Professor Sharp wasn't happy. Leave me out of your grand plans next time. OWLs. Owls? About what we discussed, Nerida. Unsanctioned? I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason. Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in. I don't think I can tackle this just yet. I don't think I'm ready for this just yet. Perhaps I'll come back to this. I don't think I can do this now. Best to come back. I should come back to this another time. Let's try the other way, perhaps. Perhaps I'm heading the wrong way. Perhaps the other way's more promising. This doesn't seem to be the right way. Better turn around. This is not the right direction. Perhaps I should go the other way. I'm not sure this is the right way. I should probably turn back. I think I should turn around. What exactly are the rumours about my journey to Hogwarts? I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, either in our common room or when you scale your next tower. Goodness, are you having butterbeer for breakfast? Well, it was nice meeting you, Gareth, and thank you for the insights on your aunt. Is it really that difficult to cast non-verbally? Well, good luck with it. It was nice to meet you, Cressida. Hope this isn't as precarious as it looks. I'd say your wand work could be a bit more fluid. A little more practice ought to do it. Don't worry, you'll get it in the end. I wonder where they're going. They seem to be going deeper into the forest. You're a researcher. It's a long story, but thank you for your help. Mallowsweet. Fixtures. Hello, Deek. Is this the clearing you mentioned? Hello, Deek. Shall we continue? I'll take that. Thank you. Deek, Professor? The bells are back up, Evangeline. About the bells, Evangeline. If only 2 bells are left, isn't it fairly easy to tell which goes where? It's certainly an odd decree, even for Black. Taking down the bells for a headache. Is it really that important that the bells go back up? Perhaps I could help put the bells back up. I'm afraid I don't follow. Who spoiled things? Also, what bells? Pardon me. Is everything all right? Hello, Arthur. Thought you might like to know that my map led to a doorway hidden within a portrait. Hello, Arthur. What was it we were going to do? The flames make the pyre sink. I have the Mallowsweet. I'm not sure old vine-covered pillars are worth studying. I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials. Now, which way is the common room? Can you remind me what you needed help with again? Is everything all right? I thought that Merlin and the tales about King Arthur's court were mere myth. Ah, yes, we met in the common room. I did, and I followed them into the forest, but I'm afraid there was nothing to see. They led me into the forest and revealed a treasure. Hello, Miss Willardsey. Pardon me, but were you saying something? Oh, well, look what we have here. Well, we've come this far. Miss Willardsey might get an answer about these butterflies. Huh? There they are. She wasn't making it up. I know the forest is forbidden, but surely it can't be that dangerous. Strange to think one could be led by butterflies. I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it. Yes? But why does that matter to you? I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend. Your mother's right. Magical beasts are more trouble than they're worth. I'm sorry to hear that. I think magical beasts are rather incredible. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Was that your cat? A moth. That frame was decorated with moths. I wonder if this one belongs there. I should tell Lenora that I solved the puzzle of that empty frame. Ha! I knew there was a connection. Lenora? I solved the mystery of that painting. Ashwinders. The moth stopped. Perhaps I need to keep casting Lumos on it. Let's get you back to your frame, little moth. You wanted to speak with me, Professor? Actually, Sebastian brought me there. But he made it perfectly clear to keep quiet about it. Oh, hello. Ominous, isn't it? I believe we have potions together. And herbology? I think I've got it. It's well disguised. First, let me thank you for what you did in the library. Descendium. I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here. What should I do now? This trunk? Merlin. Of the legend of King Arthur. As am I. Thank you, by the way. It is. I haven't left the castle since I arrived. Madam Kogawa, I completed the list of tasks you assigned. What was the purpose of these assignments again, Professor? I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now. Could you remind me about the reason for the assignments you gave me, Professor? I completed your assignments, Professor. I've completed my assignments, Professor. What is the reason for these additional assignments, Professor? Not at the moment. I would. I'd like a chance to improve my record. I suppose there's not much left you can teach me now. Perhaps another time, Professor. I'm ready. You're my Summoner's Court opponent, Professor Ronan. This can't be the Witch's Tomb. Likely I need to go further. Tell Rookwood to find me himself. I'm not going anywhere with you. Really? Hello, Sebastian. I've been looking forward to it. Natty, I hope I haven't kept you waiting long. Perhaps another time. Absolutely. Don't count me out yet. I practice as much as I can. I play by intuition. Natural skill and all that. Not at the moment, I'm afraid. Of course, Charlotte. Hello? Are you here for Summoner's Court? Perhaps another time. Let's have at. There wasn't much to it. You played a good game, though, Grace. Perhaps I'll play later. I'm game. Pleased to meet you, Grace. Hello? Are you my next Summoner's Court opponent? Perhaps another time. But of course. Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player. More like you underestimated me. That was your mistake. Perhaps another time. Yes, I'm ready to play. Hello, Samantha. Are you here for Summoner's Court? Another time, perhaps. I'm game for another round. Perhaps another time. I'm in. Let's do it. What are you doing out here? Very well. If I'm in the area, perhaps I shall take a look. Can you remind me of our arrangement? You wanted to speak with me? Of course. I hope this helps you prove yourself. Now that I think about it, Puffskein Dunkeen, I think I shall keep this. You need to overcome your cowardice. Hello, Duncan. I have the proof you wanted. Does having your aunt here make things difficult? I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat. Professor, could you remind me what I'm to do before I can learn Incendio? I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor. Yes, our carriage was attacked by a dragon. It's true, and I was almost killed. Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives. It appears I won't be going up there. I can't go up there. Seems that's off limits to me. I suppose I'm not allowed up there. Not a chance! For now! Professor, why must I complete these tasks? I completed the assignments, Professor. You have a new spell to teach me, Professor. Professor Ronan did mention something about that. That was an interesting class. Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted. I suspect that's where I come in. He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion. Now, where would I find the dried billywig stings for Gareth? Honeydukes. I can smell the chocolate. This must be the way out. I think I could break through this. Oh, it looks a bit broken. Perhaps I can try... What in Merlin's name is this? I'm going to have to get past this. This looks like the right statue. Now, what was the password? Goodness. Who knew this was all down here? It worked. A one-eyed witch statue shouldn't be too hard to find. Were you calling me, Gareth? I'm afraid I can't tell you, Lenora. I found the location depicted in the painting, and then I cast Lumos to guide a moth back to the frame. Have you gained any insights about the painting since you've been studying it? Hello, Lenora. What are you looking at? You must be able to get away with anything. Must be nice having an aunt for a professor. Thank you, Gareth. So am I. Are you related to Professor Weasley? What is it? This is the way forward. Finally free. Now, where are you, Neve? I need to turn back. There's no getting past them that way. I need to time this just right. Now's my chance. Closed tight. No way but forward, I suppose. They're gone. For now. I need to get out of here. Where could Neve be? You were going to help me. Confringo! Why wouldn't you stop? I was calling after you. How many Inferi are there? These Inferi seem far from controlled. The Inferi, they're everywhere. I hear there's a goblin mine near here. Have you ever seen it? How long have you been living here in Irondale? What sort of products do you sell? Hello. Nice to see you again. Hello. Nice to meet you. What is it you sell, Madame Navarro? I hear a Dugbog near here has been acting strangely. Have you ever seen it? Have you lived in Cragcroft all your life? How do you collect the items you sell? Madame Navarro, how are you? Excuse me, Madam, what brought you to own a shop in Feldcroft? What do you sell here? I'm curious to know what's happening in Feldcroft. Might you have any insight? Nice to see you again. Hello. Nice to meet you. Let's keep going. And if nothing will change his mind, Sebastian's done his research. He knows what he's doing. How much did you hear? Ominous has agreed that it's the only way, Sebastian. Will the curse hurt him? He doesn't want to fight you, and he can't stand by and let you leave with the relic. I said I'd take responsibility. I need you to teach me the curse. Nice. Surrounded by grandeur. At least now we know we're not alone in here. Any interesting chatter going around the town? Hello again, Agnes. Hello, Mr. Semi. The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic. Ominous cares. So much so that he told me to use Imperio on him. If you're setting things on fire, then perhaps you ought to rethink your choices. You don't create anything worthwhile without setting a few things on fire. What do you have for sale? Can you tell me a bit about yourself? Any whispers going about the town? Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. What do you have for sale? Are you the shopkeeper here? Have you heard any rumours about goings-on in Bainborough? Pardon me, madam. Do you have a moment? Did you know Mary Portman, the spider breeder? I'd like to know more about you, Mr. Adley. Mr. Adley, do you have a moment? Thank you. I don't need any more of your time. I'm glad I was able to get it right the first time. Professor Sharp didn't seem as impressed as you are. Any notable places I should look at while I'm here? Have you heard rumours about dark witches or wizards lurking nearby? I'd like to ask you a bit about Maranweem, if you don't mind. I'd like to learn a bit about you, sir, if you don't mind. What can you tell me about your shop? Hello, sir. Might you have some time to talk? Hello again, Mr. Cromwell. Mrs. Rabe should be nearby. Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere. I wonder what happened to them. In my experience, skeletons are never a good sign. Impressive labyrinth. I wonder what's at the center. Can you tell me more about yourself? What can you tell me about your shop? I actually have to be off, but it was nice talking to you. I'll meet. Where did you say that telescope was? Wonder what's down there. Actually, I don't think I want to know. Bats. Lovely. Shouldn't a host entertain his guest? Indeed. Now that was just mean. Don't suppose you can recommend a tome on how to handle a poltergeist? Unless there's a book here about how to escape a haunted dungeon, I've no time for light reading. Surely that's the last of those. Do not joke about that. Well, I'd say it was a pleasure, but I'm glad you're having fun. I'm conserving my energy. When I said I wanted to look around, I didn't mean this. Thank goodness. Stop that! I'll need to remember my tracks. Well, that was doubly something. Well, that's unfortunate. Just when I was getting my bearings. Must you continue spinning things? Now this looks familiar. I should search for a way out. At least someone feels lucky. I could do with a bit more light. I wish I could say the same. Shame I didn't bring a broom. One more down. That wasn't too difficult. I thought I sensed a pattern here. No time to stop and smell the... whatever these are. Don't really have time for tea. I wonder if there are more of these. Well, that's not very hospitable. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand. I'd better be sure I'm not seen. If Nutty couldn't summon Mr. Rabe's wand from her cell, it must be blocked by something. Mr. Rabe's wand must be nearby if he can sense it from his cell. Don't worry, Mrs. Rabe. I can take care of myself. Sounds like a good idea. Good luck, Adelaide. It was nice to meet you. Oh, hello, Amit. Nice to see you again. Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir. Indeed he was. Hello, Amit. It's nice to meet you. Of course. I certainly would be. Hogwarts won't be the same without him.
Hello. I mean, stand aside. Make way for me. Move aside, students. I heard that, and I assure you that it's none of your concern.
I was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's question about the Wiggenweld potion. Sibling rivalry. Sounds as if it might run in the family. You should have told me the truth and punished yourself as necessary. I need to go and find Officer Singer. How is it you're so good at selling? Seems unusual for a house elf. This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free. It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on. Wish I had my own broom. I think I'm getting the hang of this. This'll take some getting used to. This is brilliant. They're never ending. I need to get out of here. There must be some sort of mechanism for this doorway. I know there's a mechanism to open this door. There's Ollivander's. I hope he can help me craft the Keeper's wand. Thank you, Professor. Sounds versatile, albeit a little dangerous. I suppose that's why it's so useful. Poppy, you're only one person. You can't save them all. From everything I've seen, you're doing precisely that. I'm truly sorry about your friend, Deke. It's time to move on, Deke. There's nothing to be done now. What in the... Who's there? I don't plan on holding back either. I understand, Professor. I'll be sure to keep my guard up. Professor Hecat, I'm here about the new defensive spell you mentioned. How brave. I'm glad you escaped. I need your help, friend. What was it like growing up in a family of poachers? That's all I wanted to learn for now. Thank you. On second thought, perhaps I don't need to learn any curses at the moment. I'd like to learn how to cast the Killing Curse. I'd like to learn how to cast the Imperious Curse. I'd like to learn how to cast the Cruciatus Curse. I wondered if you might teach me how to cast a curse that you mentioned. Are all of the trials like this one?
Now, off with you. There is another matter, Scrope. I confiscated this filthy diary from a student. It smells of squid and seawater.
I should think you'd be a bit weaker by now. A troll? You can't be serious. Why is your ancestor so well known? Perhaps I should use Protego. I don't know what people have said, but I certainly wasn't showing off. Seems someone's jealous of my skills on a broom. Perhaps I am competition. Hello, Imelda. Albie Weeks sent me. You hear a voice. I'm ready. Ready? And you declined? How does it feel to transform into an animal? Can you choose what form your animagus will take? Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one? Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have. I received your owl. What happened with Ominous?
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Well, that doesn't work. I don't think I can take much more of this. You are a fierce one. Ah, then I'm glad to be rid of it myself. I know just the spell to pull that free. Those marks. They look like the ones over the door. Hello again, Imelda. This course is a bit far from the castle, isn't it? I'm ready to give it another go. Please, go on.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf? What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game. On your way, Mr. Weasley. I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. I hear you're getting quite good at those concoctions you brew. I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's. Ah, yes! Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
And the crumbling tower. The spot on the map should be directly south of here. A crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here. A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now, to find the crooked tree. Now, to find out what happened here. He didn't want you to identify him. I did indeed find your family wand, but it was in pieces. Beyond repair. So what? You finally scared everyone else away? Does this mean you've changed your mind about me? Ready when you are. I don't want respect from the likes of you. All you do is insult people. Challenge accepted, then. You seem to be very determined in stopping Rookwood and Harlow. Why? Natty, what do I need to do again? Natty, I have some questions. I don't know, but they don't look particularly appetizing to me. Thank you, Poppy. I'll be gentle. Thank you, Officer Singer. I will say that herbology wasn't as much fun as charms. I never thought magical plants could be so thrilling. Hello, Natty. How are you? Password. I met the ghost of Richard Jackdaw himself. He pointed me to the cave where he died, wand in hand. It was, but I don't think either of us could have predicted where I'd end up. Greetings, Mr. Ollivander. I visited the Owlery as you suggested. I can't get rid of this feeling of a coming danger. There will be hardship, I'm sure of it, but I see triumph in the end. Ah! Blast it! There's got to be another way to get up to the roof. Somewhere. Highwing. Even so, you'll want to prepare yourself. The place needs something of a clean-up. That's the spirit. I wish you the best of luck. Well, this isn't a good sign. These spiders have gone somewhere. I am sorry about your friend. But you'll be relieved to know that I cleared out the spiders. It's safe to return now. Understandable. But why don't you check on her yourself? Highwing, where am I? Professor Fitzgerald, can you hear me? I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back. In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him? Gareth! Mr. Weasley, what are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be? Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away. Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
Hexax, I need to find and destroy all of these before the situation gets even worse. I hate to think that they see me, but I don't see them. This is where Mary bred the spiders. They're not here now. The cellar gate looks to be locked. I'll need a key to enter. I'll need to destroy every last spider in that cellar if this is to end. If Mary was breeding these things in her cellar, that means there are more underground. More poachers. How many are there? A blockade. Rookwood's poachers are already here. This was his old telescope. Looks practically brand new. Brilliant. I honestly don't know, Professor. Your uncle sounds like a bit of a twit. Why did your uncle want to keep you from Hogwarts this year? Hello? How are you? Why is it you can't conquer your fear of spiders? I see good things. After all, the future's mine for the taking, and I shall take what I must. Grata domum. A ghost or a poltergeist? A non-being. Can never have been. I'll try my very best, Mr. Dunn. I'll have a look for you. You've certainly given me plenty to go on. What should I be doing right now? Now that I've considered it further, I'd rather not purchase the shop at this time. Oh, of course. And you're right. Shall I head directly to the shop then? Wait a minute. Brave. Perhaps this isn't a good idea. Wonderful. Shall I head directly to the shop? Madam Kogawa, about what happened in class. She did indeed. Are you all right? Are you holding your breath? Well, Thank you, Amit. I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne. And now back to the face of stone and tendrils. Now to see what lies beyond. That's rather generous, isn't it? She did try to kill us the entire time. Yes, sir, of course. You have a new spell to teach me, Professor. Surely another spell could be used to mince daisy roots. Why learn this one? It just looks like a helmet to me. It looks stunning, Lodgok. I see why you wanted it back. I can be quite resourceful. This is the entrance. You were a Gryffindor. I'm looking forward to it. You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible? It looks to be rather a mess. Why haven't other tenants been able to make a go of it there? I do hope Sebastian's all right. What would you like me to do next, Professor? I like to think I can be trusted, but I suppose we'll find out. Could you remind me of the reason for these extra assignments, Professor? Please could you remind me the purpose of my tasks, Professor? Professor, could you remind me of the purpose of the assignments you set for me? Professor Sharp, could I ask you about my extra assignments? This must be the place Minister Diggory mentioned. Helen lives around here somewhere. This isn't quite right. Best keep searching. No, this isn't the one. You couldn't outwit me, Jackdaw. Now, where's the clue you left behind? Ah, I see how this goes. Oh, that's done something. You'll not outfox me, Jackdaw. It's no wonder Anne never found that clue. No. How did you do this, Jackdaw? No, that's not it. No one's been here for ages. Thank you, Madame Thistlewood. I shall do my best. Oh, it was exhilarating, wasn't it? I wasn't sure we were going to make it out alive. Were you able to find the letter? Natty, what's going on? Why are we all the way out here? Can't we just bypass Officer Singer and go directly to the ministry? I'll help you find the letter, Natty. Nothing like an angry troll to bring friends together. Troll! So far, so good. Excuse me, Professor. Could you remind me what my assignments were about? But what is it? I have been thinking about something Professor Howin said in Beasts class, that I should study as many beasts as I can, on my own time. There was little time to react, but it was an unforgivable curse. The Phoenix!
I did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day. Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours. When I witness what passes for magic in these halls, I simply mourn for the future of the wizarding world. Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't. Oh, places to be, Professor Sharp, places to be. If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along. I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside. Scrope!
Nothing lucky about it. You're not going to make this easy, are you? Rather good at this, aren't you? I know. Hello. I'm here to help. I can take you somewhere safe. Intramuros. I must unseal that door mechanism to escape. This is pointless. I need to go. Oh! It's sealed shut from the other side. If only I could pull it to within reach. I need to get that platform closer. But how? Perhaps Accio would help. Oh, stay back! Oh, they're certainly persistent. Oh, these inferior, horrible. Oh, we'll see about that. I'll say. Lodgok, the sarcophagus has been raided. I found no helmet, only a dead ashwinder. I suppose I can do that. But why me? Toujours pure. Yes, sir. Don't suppose you have any idea what could be waiting for me inside the tomb? Yes, Deke, and I rescued it from the poachers. I have it here. It's safe. Let's get you back to the room. Deke's going to be pleased. Deke, could you remind me where I need to go to find the Phoenix? I've completed all of my tasks, Professor Onai. I could just burn you and be done with it. Hello, Deke. You wanted to talk to me? Hello, Deke. You'll be pleased to know that a little Thestral was born.
No, it's not. It's the Hogshead.
I'm doing my best!
It's a little too warm if you ask me.
Or just raring for a fight. I must insist that you give them to me at once.
Pumpkins.
Ah, I think I know just the place.
Scrope? Who is Scrope? I beg your pardon? Shall we take a closer look? You don't think the rumours about the cave are true, do you?
I'd like the room to feel mysterious and eerie. As if I'm in the Forbidden Forest, surrounded by shadows. I'd like the room to be warm and comfortable, as if I'm floating inside a mug of butterbeer. I'd like the room to feel natural and earthy, as though I'm outdoors. I would like the room to feel as if it's being lit by the moon.
Professor Weasley said I should ask you about changing the room's ambiance.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
Sebastian acted rashly, but he acted out of instinct to save Anne. All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what? How does anyone other than a house elf manage to get around in here?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Natty.
Whatever you wish, Scrope. It's your treasure. Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else. It's pure bloods forever, isn't it? Of course I remember. It's the Black family reigns. But certainly I remember. It's still stronger together, no? Right. Of course. And now I'm telling you that you can tell me. How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears. Remind me of the password to my office.
You do know he's screaming in the library as we speak. Oh no. I have a feeling that house elf is Tobbs. I don't suppose you have any idea where your stolen frame was taken. Can you see anything from it? Interesting. But not Grimbled Weft. Oh, that's not Grimbled Weft. It's my first time in Hogsmeade, actually. I hope that house elf can find us in here.
Why did I need the toast to get in here?
Hello, Mr. Moon. I actually have some moons for you. Yes. What is it?
I am perfectly capable of owning a shop. But more importantly, did you not hear the bit about the dungeon? Well, yes, she said she did, but I think you missed the bit about the dungeon.
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the ministry. Chewing with your mouth open? Where are your manners? You call that a shine on those boots? Do better. Greetings. I mean, out of my way, children.
Your faith in me is overwhelming. You're sorely mistaken if you think I'm going to fail. Yes, an unsuccessful shop would be bad for nearby businesses, I'd imagine.
It was hard to do, but casting Crucio was our only option. I know we had to do it to open the scriptorium, but it's not something I'd want to repeat.
Reporting back, Professor. Assignment's all finished.
I finished the activities you assigned me, Professor Garlick.
I finished the tasks, Professor. Professor, I completed all of your most recent assignments.
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him. I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried. What makes you so sure the symbol is where the Snidgets are? You said you divined a series of events before our paths crossed. What were they? I never thought I'd see the inside of Azkaban for myself. You did what you had to do. Not powerful enough. Perhaps Depulso will do. Where are we, Deke? What is this place? How is that?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
Yes, Professor.
Let's hurry.
What is it?
How lucky for us.
He truly is rather foul, isn't he? Surely he can't be that terrible. Can he? I'll admit I wasn't expecting him to be so angry. I beg your pardon?
Roast beef. Rotten roast beef.
A small favour in exchange for getting those pages.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning? I suppose some introductions are in order.
Looks like everyone's gone. Better head to the common room.
Can't the curse be broken? Oh, she isn't making it easy.
There she is again.
I beg your pardon? I don't suppose she'd listen to reason.
From a distance.
An exceedingly fair price for a shop and an elf.
What's the catch? For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet.
I am quite capable of owning a shop, I can assure you. I should think you'd be happy to have a buyer. I have a knack for this sort of thing, if I do say so myself. If I can meet your terms, I hope that you'll sell to me. How are you so good at selling? Seems unusual for a house elf. Why are the premises in such disarray?
Why is your mistress selling the shop? And you?
That's it.
I'm back in the restricted section. I should find out how Sebastian fared with Peeves.
Whoa! I love magic. There must be more to this room. Of course. Traces of ancient magic. Can I use this type of transfiguration magic outside of the room? I'm back from the cave, Deke. No, wait, that's the last one. And she's angry. I'll be having nightmares for the rest of my life after that. Looks like that's all of them. These eggs must be destroyed. This is definitely going to anger your parents. Can't let you harm Arrynshire any more than you already have. Best be ready for whatever I may find down there. How can there be more? Arrynshire won't be safe until they're all cleared out. Oh no, this must be Mary. Poor woman. Surely that's the last of them. They're even more aggressive than I'd expected. Right. So, back to your frame. What do you think? That didn't sound particularly reassuring. It looks as if Tobbs was here some time ago. He must have headed deeper into the cave. Tobbs' master is awful. Tobbs? Tobbs? Deke sent me. Are you in here? This must be Tobbs' cave. I suppose I should head inside. Hello, Deke. Yikes! Careful! Better show this to Lodgok, a dead Ashwinder. Your compatriots must have made off with the helmet. Lodgok won't like this. The witch's final resting place. Lodgok said the helmet was in her sarcophagus. If I could power it somehow, it looks like it could be rotated. I have a feeling I'm not alone here. This is far more powerful than Stupefy. Merlin's beard. It's sealed. Oh, dreadful looking place, isn't it? Astoria Cricket? He does seem a bit cross with you. I'll speak with him. These devices run on steam power. Professor Weasley, you wanted to see me. I'm so sorry. That sounds like a trying situation. Beats for feet. How hilarious. I mean, how terrible. Horrible. Truly. Oh, this will do nicely. Here's a welcome surprise. Oh, I'll take that, thank you. I'd best keep looking. No statues here. Nothing. Oh, Merlin's beard, what's that smell? Oh, the smell. Ugh. Better to get on one of those than try to jump across. I need to pull this platform closer. Incendio should be enough to light these flames. I'd better light these boilers if I want to go any further. Just like Gringotts. But I'm in the driver's seat this time. That has to be the end up ahead. How deep will this take me, I wonder? This cart ought to get me deeper into the mine. What came over Lodgok? Coming here alone. This place is teeming with Ranrock's loyalists. I have to keep my wits about me. Look at the size of this mine. Lodgok, where are you? I am indeed. Let's take a look around, Amit. See if we can find any plans. Let's just learn what we can and get out. You mentioned astronomy tables earlier in class. What were you talking about? Am I right in thinking you are unimpressed by divination? Hello, Ominous. Do you have a moment? I have the telescope. It's nicer than I had expected. Thank you, Miriam. For everything. Excuse me, Mr. Sallow. How did you injure your ear? Where can I find that friendly knight you mentioned earlier? Can you tell me where I might find Grimbled Weft? Can you tell me a bit more about Deke? I will be sure to speak with Deke if I need anything. Thank you. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. There you are. Welcome back. Whatever you say, Emmett. Whatever you say. Thank you, Emmett. I look forward to reading them. I had a feeling there would be a catch to that telescope, and you need someone to help you find it. All right, I suppose I can go with you. I hope it's worth it. Oh, no need to convince me. Let's get going. That's very kind of you, Emmett. Are you sure you won't need it? Hello, Adelaide. How are you and your uncle doing? Spiders don't bother me at all. You'd be impressed by how many I've dispatched lately. You wouldn't know it by how many I've killed lately, but honestly, I'm terrified of spiders. Another shopkeeper. St. Mungo's. I think you should explain, Penny. Actually, I think I have enough information. Thank you. I found the book that you said would exonerate you. I'd like to know more about Anne. Can you tell me more about Apollonia Black? When were you the Minister for Magic? Can you tell me more about your great niece? How could a few pages of a book help her solve an old case? Why would you steal Mr. Ollivander's family wand? It was all right. But honestly, I find the beast's unpredictability unnerving. It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class. Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me? What's going on? Poppy, where are you taking me? Really? Well, Thank you, I think. Not quite yet. Just a few more minutes. I believe I am. From the outside, you'd never guess this place even existed in here. I think I'd like to look around a bit first. Shall we? Professor! That should reverse the curse. Hopefully. Well, my feet didn't turn into beets. That's a good start. Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Afpuddle. Did someone in the cave cut off your head? What will I find in the cave? Why would the thief have taken the wand? Is there anything special about the wand? I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck. Pardon me, Professor. What am I supposed to do with the dittany seeds? Has she? That's nice to hear. Oh, any you'd like to share with the class? A little. It's positively enormous. But you can see them. Oh, is your sister in Slytherin too? So how did you manage to get on the librarian's bad side? Glad I could be of service. We're still on for the trial, aren't we? Not just yet. Perhaps later. I'll come back when I'm feeling up to it. We'll soon see how I fare, won't we? I'm ready. Now's not the best time. I'll see if I can come back later. I'm ready to fly. Still up for that broom contest? Oh, I actually don't have time for this right now. Perhaps another day. Actually, why not? I can beat your record. I'll keep that in mind, Natty. Thank you. I believe you. I'm getting used to things. What about you? Do you finally feel settled? That sounds a bit mysterious. Not much for the cold, are you? I brewed an Edgerus potion, as you asked, Professor. Samantha, is everything all right? I think I can guess how you died, but who did it to you? I'd like to have those pages if you don't mind. It seems this may help us both. I shall do it. Why are the premises in such disarray? What kinds of things would I be able to sell in the shop? Hello, Penny. I had some questions about the shop. How did you happen to become a member of the Headless Hunt? Why are you using Jackdaw's head for this game? If that's what I need to do to speak to Jackdaw, I'll do it. Cassandra Mason sold me her shop and then tried to drive me mad in a haunted dungeon. Officer Singer, I have some information you might be interested in. You seem perfectly fine. Not a scratch. You don't need any Wiggenweld potion. Spiders do tend to appear in ruins. Here, I have enough to spare. Stay away from the ruins, though. I was sure I had some, but it seems not. Afraid I'm not able to help. Good luck with the, spiders. Not dead from that spider attack yet. Everything all right? If you can't defend yourself, you'd be better off staying out of their way. I'm not giving you charity. You're right. The world's not safe at the moment. It's best to take precautions. Here. Use it wisely. I don't have any of that. Perhaps you could try in Hogsmeade, or one of the hamlets. Goblins got you yet? Or did you find some Maxima potion? What is it? What's wrong? The Grim, if you saw one, is an omen. Omens don't attack you, so I doubt an invisibility potion will do you much good. Well, as it happens, I have what you need. Here. Not sure it'll help you, though. Be careful, won't you? I'm afraid I'm all out of invisibility potion. I suggest finding somewhere safe and being especially careful. Still in the market for an invisibility potion? What seems to be the problem? Did you say tickle the pear? I'm sorry to tell you this, Deke, but Tobbs is gone. It seems he was unable to avoid the spiders in the end. Poor Tobbs. Left here alone with the spiders. Why didn't you tell us it was just his skull? Yes, I rather enjoyed seeking him out. Well, Marmaduke certainly left behind more than plants. Should have known a herbologist would use devil's snare. A sarcophagus. This must be Marmaduke. Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm. Wonderful. I can only imagine what we might find in there. I have nothing more to ask. Hello, Mr. Moon. I have the moons you asked me to collect. But what about curfew? It does sound intriguing, but I need to consider my finances first. I'll come and find you if I'm interested. I'd like to go with Natty. I'd like to go with Sebastian. You're hurt. I have a few questions about the demiguise statues. How do I remove the demiguise statues? Yes, that's the one for me. Yes, About time. Hello, sir. I'm looking for... Well, there was a troll in the tomb. Just a measly old troll. Nothing significant. I'm happy to tell you that I returned the crest to Marmaduke's sarcophagus, just as you asked. Hello, Natty. How are you? What am I supposed to do when we meet the hunt? Is the Headless Hunt dangerous? Sir, where are we going? If I'm honest, I'd say he had it coming. How awful. I can see why you're upset. He definitely needs some help. I'm not sure. What's this all about? You've intrigued me. Very well, lead the way. Honestly, she was a bit intimidating. Sebastian, how do you know it's safe? I don't want my feet to turn into beets as well. Kagawa seems strict. I wouldn't want to get into trouble. Can't say no to that. What did you have in mind? Thank you, Professor Heckert. Glad to have the opportunity to practice. What on earth possessed you to do something like that? Only because of you. How are you feeling? You distract, I get the key. Understood. Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
How do I know you won't go to the librarian and blame this all on me? Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me. So what is it you've been looking for?
He's lucky I found him in time.
Hello, Mrs. Rabe. How is Mr. Rabe doing? What does your mother think about all of this? I'm glad to have been of help.
Mr. Filbert, I have your book.
Mrs. Rabe, I have a few more questions if you don't mind.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note that might help me to identify it should I come across it? Hello, Mr. Dibble. I had a few more questions if you don't mind. Why was Marmaduke's tomb cursed? I can take the crest of Marmaduke's sarcophagus for you. Finky, isn't it? I know I came in here for something. What was it?
The moths match the shapes I saw on the door.
Lodgok, what should we do about the helmet thieves? Don't forget why I'm here, sir. Do they always talk to you like that? If you're right about this place, then we should make our way there.
Drills, Lodgok. They're building enormous drills.
What are Amit and I to do again?
What else should we know about the enchanted door?
Amit and I can do this.
Merlin, I don't know what to say, Poppy. I can't imagine what that must have been like for you.
Do your parents know about the things you do now? Saving the dragon from the fighting ring, for instance. What about this helmet makes it so special? If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg? Thank you, Professor Weasley. Thank you, Professor Weasley. Thank you, Professor Weasley. Thank you, Professor Weasley.
Nice to meet you as well, Professor.
I'm certain that I belong in Slytherin House. Hufflepuff would be a better fit for me. I'm certain that Ravenclaw is the house for me. I believe that Gryffindor is a better fit for me.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Ravenclaw is correct.
Yes.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own. You're making this sound simple, but this is a dragon after all. That sounds straightforward enough. Still looking for that Thunderbrew? You should be able to take care of yourself. I'm not giving you anything. I'm afraid not. I'd help you if I could, but I don't actually have anything with me. Yes, I have some right here. Please, take it. And be careful. Are you in some sort of trouble? I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you? Professor, what should I be doing again? That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once. Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs. There's an Ollivanders in Hogsmeade. I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade. It seems poor Mary was breeding spiders in her home for profit and vastly underestimated their propensity to multiply. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dunn. She was an innocent victim. One more thing, Penny. I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you. It's my pleasure. You deserve it. What kind of things would I be able to sell in the shop? All right, I shall go and find Madame Mason. Oh, it would be wonderful to have a place to sell things and someone to help me. Even with your help, I'm not certain it would be worth it. Shopkeeping has never really appealed to me. Why would you enter into such an agreement? Just to be clear, what does this agreement entail? Specifically. So, about that contract. I wouldn't call it fun, really. I must say, I enjoy a good challenge. Thank you, Penny. I think I'm going to need to talk to the authorities. Were you worried I might not return? I've decided I'd like to go ahead and purchase the shop. What precisely do you mean, should my efforts fail? The shop seems to be in an ideal location. Why has no one purchased it yet? Madam Mason, about the shop. Yes, I am. I've always wanted to own a shop. Perhaps. It depends upon your terms. Hello, Madam Mason? I understand you have a shop to sell. Well then, let's get to it. I'm glad you're here to help me. Well, I've done it, Penny. The shop is mine. I apologise, I didn't mean to offend you. You're quite an obnoxious chap, aren't you? There's no need to get your pantaloons in a twist. Are you certain you can't make do with one frame? Are you... Anne? Where did you want me to go? I'd like the room to feel mysterious and eerie. As if I'm in the Forbidden Forest. Surrounded by shadows. Actually, perhaps another time. I'd like the room to be warm and comfortable, as if I'm floating inside a mug of butterbeer. I'd like the room to feel natural and earthy, as though I'm outdoors. I would like the room to feel as if it's being lit by the moon. I'd like to ask you about changing the room's ambiance. Sir, do you think the culprit who stole your family wand may have taken it to the owlery? Mr. Dunn? I have some news. Mr. Dunn? About the spider problem in Arranshire. Why didn't you ask the Ministry for help? Why are there so many spiders in Arranshire all of a sudden? Excuse me, sir, are you all right? Let's get out of here then, shall we? What if I took you to the Hog's Head instead? I've heard such nice things. Calm down, I'm here now. I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists. What was it you needed, Mr. Pratt? Sir, are you all right? You seem to be in some distress. I could look into the matter for you. How can you be kidnapped when you're right here? I take it you and your uncle are close. Hello again, Adelaide. Any word of your uncle? Crucio! 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 Bombarda! Bombarda, Bombarda, Descendo, 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 Evanesco, 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 Petrificus totalis, Petrificus totalis, Petrificus totalis, Confringo, 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 Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Avada Kedavra, Reducto, 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 Defendo, 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 Imperio, 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 Finite, 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 Revelio, 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 Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa, Wingardium Leviosa, Lumos, 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 Lumos. Stupefy, 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 stupefy. Reparo, reparo, reparo. Protego, 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 protego. Levioso, levioso, levioso. Incendio, 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 incendio. Glacius, glacius, glacius. Flipendo, flipendo, flipendo. Expulso, expulso. Expelliarmus! 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 Depulso! 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 Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Alohomora! 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 Accio! 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 Crucio! 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 Bombarda! 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 Descendo! 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 Evanesco! 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 Petrificus totalis! Petrificus totalis! Petrificus totalis! Petrificus totalis! Confringo! 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 Avada Kedavra! Avada Kedavra! Avada Kedavra! Avada Kedavra! Reducto! 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 Defendo! 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 Imperio! 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 Finite! 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 Revelio! 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 Wingardium Leviosa! Wingardium Leviosa! Wingardium Leviosa! Lumos! 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 Stupefy! 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 Reparo! 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 Protego! 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 Levioso! 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 Incendio! 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 Glacius! 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 Flipendo! 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 Expulso! 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 Expelliarmus! 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 Depulso! 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 Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Arresto momentum! Alohomora! 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 Accio! 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 Accio!